What's up, Fight Family? And we are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin. And where do all fights start? Round one. We have an amazing show for you here today. Stay with us. Please don't forget to click that like button for me. It helps out the channel. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. So let's get right into this episode. What's up, Carlos? In the building. Thank you for tuning in at Round One Sports TV. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of interesting things, but in a sense, there's not much to talk about. There's no big fights yet. But Armando, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. And, this Saudi card, there was some hiccups in the card, as we can see. First it was Floyd Schofield and Shakur Stevenson. What's up, Lloyd? How you doing in the building? And their situation, right? And the reason why I bring up the Schofield and the Shakur Stevenson situation is because now Daniel Dubois pulled out from flu-like symptoms, right? So what does this do? Now you got probably Schofield, I'm pretty sure, going, look, now this gives his story credibility because now they're saying there was a bug going on out there. I could already see him, if he hasn't already done this, right? And he's probably already having, I'm spoken on it, but I'm letting you know, I haven't heard anything from him, right? Not that I'm looking. And because he said enough, right? But this is going to give him a way out. He's going to look at the Dubois situation. Mark my words. Crazier things have come out of Schofield Sr.'s mouth than him attaching, look, what happened to my son must have happened to Daniel Dubois because you guys are saying that there's a virus going on out there. See, so I wasn't full of shit. But what happened with the passport, Rip Page, the cops letting two brothers go, handcuffed with drugs in the car. Oh no, thank God for the tow truck driver that put his hand on the hood of the car and said, wait, this car has not been moved. I mean, the shit just piles up, my man. It's just, but I could already see him attaching that to that situation. In regarding to the Daniel Dubois and Parker, here steps in on real short notice a very avoidable heavyweight in Martin Bakole. We seen the demolition job he did to Big Baby. He destroyed Gerald Anderson. I was on a show and one of the gentlemen there said that Gerald Anderson is more like an athlete. He's more athletic than he is boxer. He can do boxing shit because he's an athlete, but he's not a boxer. And I looked at him and I was like, man, you're right. Athletes can look good in a real athlete can look good in doing anything. He's not necessarily the great in everything like a Bo Jackson, right? But you can't play boxing. You're going to have to dedicate yourself to this sport to know the ins and outs of the sweet science. So I think that that's where he's at. As far as Parker's, late replacement here, and they broke the news to him. You saw him and Frank Warren at the weigh-in, and he shoved them, right? That was cute. Right? And I'm like, wow, this is a dangerous fight. In any weight division, the one thing you don't have to worry about in heavyweight is cutting weight. You just got to show up in shape, and fight in shape. There's a difference between being in shape and fighting shape. But when these big men are throwing around those kind of punches, and you're that kind of size and you know how to throw a punch, at any moment, either of these men can go to sleep. Martin Piccoli is really good counter puncher. He sticks out that jab and he tries to engage and have his opponent throwing punches, and he tries to slip in between. If he catches you relaxing, standing in front of him, he will shoot that straight right, just like he did Gerald Anderson. Now, Parker, on the other hand, is a more mobile heavyweight. He moves a little bit more, and it showed when Martin Piccoli came around. I would say a smaller heavyweight in Hunter, right? But when you show you can box and you can take a punch, you know how to roll with punches and move, keep your head off the center line. Just that basic boxing stuff, Martin Piccoli couldn't catch up to him. I mean, he was hitting him with big shots, and I got to give Hunter, he has a beard, because he gave him problems. And now Parker is a good boxing heavyweight. The only thing I was concerned was when I saw him in the Deontay Wilder fight, had he realized Deontay Wilder was scared, he probably would have put him out sooner. But he's no fool. He's going to take precaution. And do you think that if he takes Martin Piccoli right now on short notice into the late waters, he can drown him? If he's able to sustain, which is going to be Martin Piccoli's strongest rounds, I believe, round 3 and 4. Round 3 and 4 is, I think, where it's now Piccoli has the gas tank. We've seen it. He can go 12. He can go 10. He can, I've seen him with the gas tank. The only thing that I have that I'm questioning is, where did they catch him? See, because Martin Piccoli had a fight to be scheduled in May against Ejabe, right? Now, this fight is now. He still can make that fight, actually. From now to then, he could probably still make that fight. Heavyweights are wanting to fight once a year or whatever sometimes. But technically, yes, he could. Come to think about it. But was he in training camp? Was he staying in shape? How much time in between was he active? When you take a fight on short notice like this, that's typically what my concern is. It's like, where did you catch him? Some fighters are not in situations where they cannot deny a payday or even exposure on a world stage like this, with a card like this. There's so many fights on this card that we're all talking about, because Ortiz is still fighting on this card against Ismail. Am I correct? And then we still have the main event. And then the Parker fight has been talked about. Shakur got a late replacement. Congratulations to the young man, Josh, what's his name? Josh Padley, right? I want to commend that young man. He's undefeated, bro. Do you guys see the difference between fighters from over there and fighters from America? Are you watching in real time, people? And I'm serious. Look at what's transpiring. This man was undefeated, and in a heartbeat, he said yes to the fight. He doesn't care about the O. He wants a shot at that belt. Real championship. That's what we're talking about. It's not whether you got a big promotion company, how many tickets you sell. This man said, yeah, I'm undefeated. Yeah, in a sport, I'm one day I'm going to be champion. Did you just say you're going to give me a shot at that belt, Shakur? Let's go. I'll fight you in the parking lot. That man pulled up. Thank you for allowing Shakur Stevenson to have another ring performance. Because had he not taken the fight, who else would have took it on short notice? That was somewhat of a worthy opponent. See, because what I say somewhat, it's no disrespect to Josh, because somewhat in the regards, he's not well known out here. He might be out there, but not in America. You see? But that does not mean he's not worthy. All these fighters are just looking for what? Opportunity, a chance to arise. And when these opportunities come, you better be ready to shock the world. Josh is in there fighting for his dreams, his glory. He wants to bring that belt back to his people, to his mom, and show the world that all he needed was opportunity and space. Get out of our way. So he had enough balls to take the fight, to hop in with what? Arguably one of the greatest technical boxers in Shakur Stevenson. How some of these people are talking about him and how some people talk about him. You know what I'm saying? And he had no problem. There's a difference between them and us. Shakur Stevenson doesn't do that. A lot of fighters that are undefeated, American fighters, won't fight risky fights. Tank Davis. I don't know why. Because Mayweather has them convinced it is more prestigious to retire undefeated than legacy. Shit. I'll put your imaginary undefeated. And when I say the word imaginary, the reason why I say it is because you guys know this, right? That although Mayweather retired 50-0, that's not a boxing record. No. That's when you retire 50-0, that's just personal. Like Andre Ward. That's just personal. I was never undefeated, but you don't get an award for that. That's not a record. What a record is, how many weight divisions, then the man that has the most weight divisions, that's a boxing record. The man that fought the most champions, that's what he has. That's a real boxing record. 50-0, retiring 50-0, that's just for show. That's just for bragging rights. I never lost. That's what that's for. And these guys protect that rather than going after titles. Shakur Stevenson was offered a title fight against Devin Haney for 4 belts. 4 belts. You offered him some 25%, and both men acknowledged this. So I'm not pulling this out of my ass. There's interviews, there's footage, receipts of Shakur Stevenson saying he denied not 1 but 2 offers from Devin Haney. And Devin Haney's on record saying, I offered him not 1 but 2 offers for 4 belts. Now, whatever the situation is, Shakur Stevenson was undefeated, and I guess he didn't think the risk was worth the reward. You got to understand the men that are always around Shakur Stevenson. Undefeated Terrence Crawford. Undefeated Ward. Andrew Ward. Undefeated Mayweather. What do you think is going through his mind? He wants to retire undefeated. And he wants to wait around to see if he gets those sneaky title fights with guys he's way above their level. Get in and get out. And these guys from over here, you know what they're thinking about? Legacy. Win, lose, or draw. Guess what? Josh Padley, when you look back at his record, hey, Josh Padley, who'd you fight? Shakur Stevenson. Who'd you fight? Because that's one name he got so far. And Josh Padley's career ain't going to end on Shakur Stevenson, right? So he has opportunity to put more better names on there. But he can look back on his resume and say that. And that's what I talk about. When are we going to go back to a time where it was better the men and women on your resume rather than that you skated by undefeated? Sure, Tank Davis can say right now he's undefeated, but he had an opportunity to have Lomachenko's name on his record, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, which he has, okay? But Tank Davis's resume could have been way better. When you look back at a fighter's resume, you got to judge him for the fighters that were there in his era, in his time. Who is there? And Tank Davis's resume could have had all 4 horsemen on his resume. That's his era. That's what you need to do. You need to come out on top on the best of the competition the world has to offer. And somehow, some way, Tank Davis didn't fight any of them but Ryan Garcia. And I can't say that about Ryan Garcia, though. Ryan Garcia at least fought Tank and Devin. Go figure. The one without the belt freaking had the balls to fight the rest of the people. He's about to fight Rolly, which, you know, it is what it is, guys. So this fight card right here coming up, it's a lot. There's a lot on it, you know, and I want to know what you guys think about, you know, Ortiz, too. That's going to be an explosive fight right there. You know, both men are trying to use each other's name as a stepping stone. You know, Israel here is coming off the loss with Terrence Crawford, and he can beat the guy that allegedly is the boogeyman. He was rocking 100% knockout ratio until he was dropped in his last fight twice. So the perception of what the Mexican fans feel Ortiz is, you know, is he going to get his credit for a guy with this many fights in his career? You know, and how does Ortiz, you know, looking at this fight, is he saying, well, you shared the ring with Terrence Crawford. You went 12 rounds with him. If I could stop you, what would that say? You know, and then, you know, the boxing fans and the promoters and everybody else, the one thing they're not going to want you to see in this situation is evidence. What do I mean by evidence? Okay. Let's say Virgil Ortiz goes out there and stops Israel Maigomedov, right? And he stops him, right? What would tell you that Terrence Crawford then would be ready to move up an additional 3 weight division to fight Saul if he couldn't do that to Israel? Little investigation here. Depending how that fight goes, there's going to be a measuring stick. I guarantee it. Let's say Ortiz goes out there and rocks him. Then all of a sudden, the boxing, they don't want you to talk about this. They don't want you to look or use it as a measuring stick, because that would be saying a lot. It'd be saying, wait a minute, let's open our eyes that Terrence Crawford, in fact, he came from 147 to 154. That was actually his only fight there. It would expose Terrence Crawford to a degree where that a lot of us fight fans are telling the people, you guys are going by Terrence Crawford's name, and you're going into this fight thinking about the fighters with your heart. You're not thinking about this objectively. There has been no human on planet Earth to make 3 division weight jump in one move and fight the champion and beat him. That's unheard of. You see, and then when people say, well, heavyweights have an astounding amount of weight, 50 pounds, this, that. Okay. First of all, once you get to a certain size of a human being, it's pretty much he can knock you out, you can knock him out type shit, right? Okay, as far as skill, punching power, technique, that's all individual. If this guy knows how to throw a better punch, timing beats speed, beats power, that type shit, he has better form. That's individual, right? Okay. As far as weight jumps like that, you have to understand something, that these men that are in the lower weight divisions have trained their bodies their entire life from a child, from amateur, how to cut and lose weight. You have to understand, they deplete the water out of their body, fill it back up, and that they've been fighting like that forever. Heavyweights have never cut weight. Not once. They show up to the fight in the way they're in. They've never emptied out all the water, filled it up, emptied foot. No, they don't have a lifetime of doing that. A person that does that, you're basically a ticking time bomb. That's when they say that fighters get chinny, in which I believe all those weight cuts caught up to you. Your body no longer processes the weight and the fluids to your brain that you need to keep it stable for making that suction from you going out. And a lot of people are comparing heavyweights and what they do in their type of weight, and they try to compare it to these guys that have been cutting weight their entire career. Their bodies are trained much different. Not too heavy. He's freaking fully hydrated every day of the week. It's hard to knock out big fat boys. Hell yeah. They're always so hydrated. You get a guy that cuts weight, it's easier. It's easier. I heard a guy say that the reason why they did that, because the mob, they changed it. No, it was health concerns. There were real people. You can't go back to an era where you cut weight the day of the fight. We proved that that's so unhealthy. Some guy try to say that the mafia did that, and that's bullshit. That's bullshit. For that, they guy can replenish the day after and be heavier and blimp up and knock out the smaller fighter. Well, that could be, but you can't tell me in the history of boxing you haven't seen a guy try to cut weight and he was hospitalized. So those are lies. The guy being hospitalized drove off and we were hours away from the fight. He's in an ambulance. How many times have we seen that? So it's obvious cutting weight is dangerous. And then everybody says, well, everybody should be honest. Really? Really? And how did honesty get you in life all the way? Sometimes, right? Your Honor, listen. Go ahead and be honest if you want to. Hold up. Oh, wait. So there's a time and place, right? So all these fighters do this to get an advantage in a weight division where they feel they can pack on a little bit of pounds, be strong, and make that weight and be a champion in that weight. In fact, 99% of the men and women that box today in boxing, nobody fights in their real weight division. And reason why I say 99%, because that 1% is the heavyweights. And they fight in, whatever weight you show up. You could have 25, 30 pounds on the guy. It doesn't really matter. because as we can see, Usyk, the much smaller fighter, beat Tyson Fury, the much bigger fighter that weighed more. We seen when Dubois beat Baby Miller, and Baby Miller came in 98 pounds heavier than him on fight night. He was almost an astounding 100 pounds heavier than Daniel Dubois. 100 pounds, 98 pounds. Actually, he was over than Daniel Dubois on fight night. So the smaller guy won. So putting on a lot of weight doesn't give you a win. As you saw with Keyshawn Davis and Lemos. Lemos came in 6 pounds heavier. Keyshawn stretched him out like a lawn chair. And the referee. He got a 2-for-1 double kill. You know what I'm saying? Yo, he took out 2 people, 1 bullet. Both of them. So, I mean, skills pay the bills in this sport. What's up, guys? Lionheart, how you doing in the building? What's up? What's up, guys? Frontline, you got your sign? Yo, look at Frontline. He in the building. Let me check him out on YouTube. Because that's the way that I can see what he was talking about. See if he got his status back. Apparently, Frontline started bragging about how he the man in his house. Stuff. All of a sudden, Frontline woke up today. You know what I'm saying? Valuable lesson learned. Nah, Frontline is my girl called you a girl. You know what I'm saying? And was like, yo, take care of that. You know what I mean? Because you called me out. You know what I mean? Yo. Nope. Look at that. We gonna get fronts. Oh, what's that Frontline? Looks like Junto just had a fight. And what? What was this? Let me see this right here. Let me pull the. Come on, man. Stop messing with me. What's up? My man, Mr. Miyagi in the building, showing the love. What happened? Woo-hoo! Hello, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Dropping that super chat, dropping that 5. He said, salute, Edwin, I told you. Brother. Well said, man, you know. Look, I mean, Shakur can't catch a break. And the eerie thing about this whole thing, Mr. Miyagi, is that he called it Shakur Stevenson, didn't he? He said it on that interview with Andre Ward. He said, yo, I have a feeling they're going to pull out of this and they're going to find a way, you know, to get out. You know, it's obviously he's not a fortune teller. He couldn't tell you exactly the way he was going to do it, right? And you know, it's really showing you that this sport, there's a lot of moving parts, and there are 2 people that need to come together to pull these kind of fights off. And if one of them pulls out, gets injured, anything, right? Then this is what happens. And Shakur really can't catch a break. The Schofields called for the smoke, Mr. Miyagi. You know that, right? And they called him out, and it was like all these antics for what? For what? You know, trying to convince the world that somehow Shakur Stevenson was scared of you, that he needed to do all these things to stop you from showing up to the fight. It was absurd. And I'm like, doesn't Las Vegas got him, Shakur, a huge favorite? So if no one on planet Earth thinks that your son's going to win, the only person that's saying that's scared of your son is you. No one has to sabotage his cars, slice his tires, plant drugs in a car, or do any of the things that the Schofield Senior guy said. There's nobody can convince me that Shakur was scared of him. You mean to tell me Shakur Stevenson, the unified world champion with 3 belts at 130 pounds and 2-time division world champion, and Schofield, you've never had a belt. For you to come out and say such a decorated fighter so far as Shakur Stevenson, that he had to go through all these lengths to stop you from showing up to the fight. It was absurd. It was absurd. The only person that thought he could win this fight was you guys. You never know if you would have just took your shot. But now the way that they're looking, this is bad. But now, look what happened, Mr. Miyagi, right? Check it out. I was just saying this earlier on my channel, that now that Dubois pulled out because of flu-like symptoms, right? You know it 100%. If he hasn't already did it, the Schofield's going to use that and say, look, another fighter got sick, just like my son. So we weren't lying. And there's the proof. But it wasn't the proof you were allegedly going to get. It's never going to be what you actually said. For them anyway. Right? He said once he touched down in America, he was going to get the proof. And I said, what proof? What are you talking about? Your son was hospitalized over here. They were going to, for whatever you admitted your son into the hospital, like when you go in, they ask you what's wrong with you. He's going to say he's sick. If the father didn't say, we feel like he was poisoned, right? Or we don't know what's wrong with him, but here are the symptoms. They're going to take a toxicology report on him. They're going to take blood. They're going to take urine. Whatever was in his urine and his blood, that hospital already knows. Why did you have to land in America to find out what was wrong with your son? Maybe they already told you. And now you feel like you need a second opinion. You're going back. You're not going to get that proof. But lo and behold, you know what I'm saying? A fucking ray of sunshine shined on their ass. And I could just already see it. He's going to say, look, he got sick. My son got sick. Same shit. And that's going to be the proof. But it's never going to be what you asked for. Like, who poisoned your son and who ripped out the page? It was the one-armed man with Harrison Ford. Remember in the movie with Harrison Ford, he told the judge, it wasn't me, it was the one-armed man. And the judge looked at him and said, the one-armed man? Guilty, right? And Schofield's like, it wasn't me, it was the one-armed man. He ripped the page out of the book. He slashed the tires. If you find the guy with one arm, that's your suspect. Yo, what's up, XL? What's up? For the upset? Okay, I can respect that. Listen, you know, these Dominican fighters right now, they got a couple, they got a couple guys that, let's see, a ver si no se mueren, because you know how it is, bro. We think we be getting one, and then all of a sudden, una cacara. They go out to the club, they want to stay there too long, too many women, Too many cervezas, Holmes, and they were good. They were good. And the next time you see them, you could tell that these guys showed them too much of a good time. It happens. But these are the moments. These are the big fights right here. He's got to pull the upset. Whatever way he can get it done. I can't, really see that fight right now in my head playing out. He's gonna have to get it done. So I look. What I say is this, right? When opportunity arises, dig the price on the fight card, the pay-per-view, $25. Fucking beautiful, right? Somebody tighten up the super chat for me. Throw $1 in the super chat for me. You know what I'm saying? Yo, opportunity arises. These are the kind of moments in the world stage you can really make your mark. And sometimes fighters take fame and fortune to their head, and they don't realize that in this sport, in order for you to also achieve, you have to have the proper dancing partner. Tank Davis started to allude to the fact that every time he fought dudes, they got famous. So what? It just speaks to how famous you would continue to get if you were to fight these guys, right? So Tank Davis, it got to his head. Now he doesn't want to share the spotlight. You got to share the spotlight with someone. Oh, I don't want to give him $1. I don't want to put no money in his pocket. I don't want, because of words, because of shit talking. You didn't fight these guys because you didn't want to put money. Like, look, that shit got to your head, brother. You got to understand, in a big game, in a Super Bowl, you need the other team. Can't show up to the Super Bowl by yourself. What fun is that? Gonna play against a high school team. Kansas City against the high school team. Yeah, that's fair, Tank. You got to share the world stage with someone. And Turkey, the Riyadh season, he put this together like this, man. And I'm telling you, man, this is a world stage where you can really make your way. And we got ourselves some love hitting me with the 5 spot. What's up, XL? How you doing in the building? My man. Okay, let me read this correctly. You clearly hating on Schofield. Dubois also got sick. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining the show, XL, and dropping that 5-piece, baby. But you might have joined late. I've already alluded to this, and I said that the Schofields were going to reach and take him getting sick and say, look, it gives our story credibility. I knew it's just a matter of time before the Schofields take that and run with it. But see, here's the problem with the smoke screens that are the Schofields, right? It's that we can't get past some of these situations to start talking about the new ones that arrived. You haven't caught up and given us legitimate answers for the stuff that just occurred just a few days ago. So at least can we start there before you start trying to attach his sickness with his sickness. We don't know what part of the city you were in or where he was in. We don't know because we know one thing for sure, that at least Dubois is in the hospital. They got a tube of his blood. They definitively said what Dubois has. The funny thing about the Schofields is that when he was released from the hospital, they said he was fine. They apparently didn't say, hey, take 2 of these. You should be in bed. You got out the same day. You weren't in there 24 hours. Right? So Dubois, that man, he's bedridden. So, okay, maybe he might have got sick, but it doesn't explain the ripped passport, the slashed tires, the drugs in the car, 2 brothers being handcuffed, being released in the UK, guns being drawn on you in a society that their cops don't carry guns. Out there, their cops are gun free. They don't have guns. But mysteriously, you got guns drawn on you. And not only did you get guns drawn on you, right? They let 2 brothers go with drugs found in their rental car. In their rental car. Y'all free to go. As a matter of fact, what did he say? The cops apologize to them. We're sorry we found drugs in your car. But since you say these are not your drugs, then shit. Who's the only people in the car? The officers. So, my bad, we planted drugs on you. But since you're good people, because the tow truck driver said that this car has not been on, you guys are free to go. Oh, my bad. Let me apologize for my staff's inadequacy of detaining you, because obviously these drugs were not yours. Explain that to me. I don't know. Listen, if me growing up, if they found a roach in my car, I was getting dragged out, smacked down on the curb, and probably smacked up a little bit. Like, they're not letting me go. And what kind of drugs did they find? Because at this point, he was in his underwear, remember? I'm in my drawers. I come outside. I'm in my drawers. They letting you go, homeboy. Fucking tow truck driver. If it wasn't for the tow truck driver, you guys would be in jail. Come on, bro. You got to call a spade, man. You got to call it for what it is, XL. Jabbar for what? When we're going to Kano's channel. But Floyd wasn't sick. The commissioner withdrew Floyd from the not being able to make weight healthy. Nah, frontline. That was a Floyd Schofield lie. Okay, what happened was the second, and I mean the second, he went to the hospital, the fight was off. When the Schofields challenged the British Boxing Athletic Committee in their ruling of why, if because now they were alerted that the fight was canceled with all their antics, and they really fucked up now. See, they might have thought that they could go to the hospital, and in an event that he loses, he goes, yo, my son was hospitalized 2 days leading into the fight. That's why he lost. But he didn't know the minute that he went into the hospital, they canceled him out of the fight. And the reason why they gave that was they said, if Schofield tries to make weight and he cuts weight and anything happens to his health, it was on their watch. They were informed that he was hospitalized. And what the Boxing Athletic Committee said, we don't feel that he can cut weight healthy at this point. If he's already weak for having flu-like symptoms and then you go have him cut weight to make the fight, we fear something can go wrong, and thereby we are canceling the fight. And then the Schofields took that and ran with it. When in fact, and the truth is, the fight was canceled the minute he stepped in that hospital. It really didn't have to do anything with him cutting weight healthily, any of that, because none of that shit's going to occur. They were just telling him the reason why, but it wasn't going to occur anyway. The second he stepped in that hospital, that fight was canceled. It was too close to the fight, and the British Boxing Committee weren't going to sanction the fight at that point. Out of commission since that episode, Frontline, huh? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yo, hey, chat. Ask Frontline what he did when he got out of the hospital yesterday. What was the first thing Frontline did when he got home? The dishes, if he knows what's best for him. That's right. She put the Beats by Break on Frontline. He was out of commission. She took the phone and went to town. Yeah, because you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we want to talk slick, you know what I mean, on these channels, and the missus be in the room, but I'm not like that. You know what I mean? I run shit here in my... Oh. Make sure she ain't listening. Just say real... in my house here, okay? Sometimes, some weeks, well, in this room, I definitely run shit, all right? So I got that, all right? Yeah. What's up, Bam Bam Boogie? How you doing? In the building. What's up, Mr. Miyagi? What you saying over here? Talk Sports was talking to a mean guy at British Boxing Board of Control. He's going out there, and they should have news very soon on the situation with Schofield. Yeah, I hope so. I hope somebody can shed some light on this. But I do know that when he went to the hospital, Mr. Miyagi, come on, man. What are we saying about their hospitals out there? What are they running, a Mickey Mouse? What kind of Mickey Mouse operation are they running? You truly telling me they didn't run his blood? They didn't take any liquid samples, urine, swab. What they do? Come out with a fucking stethoscope? Hey, cough. Let me see your back. All right, lay right here. Write him up and let him go. Huh? What do you think they did? They ran some tests. So he's not going to be able to run from that. And if you're going to tell me, Mr. Miyagi, now the Saudi prince got an entire staff of doctors in on it, that the hospital is in on all the boxing shenanigans and Turkey's power reaches just to go after who? Who the hell is your son to merit all this attention? There goes another case of a human being just thinking he's way bigger than what he actually is. Who the hell is Floyd Schofield, and who on planet Earth, as a professional boxer at the 135-pound weight division, is scared of him? Just name me one guy. Nobody's scared of that kid. Everybody thinks that he's talented, but they're not scared of him. Absolutely no one. The only person that's saying that people are scared of you is you. Your son's not avoidable. He's never been a champion. He doesn't have anything to offer. He doesn't even make that much money. But all of a sudden, they had to do all these measures to stop this fight. You see, and the problem is Now we're going to jump right ahead to the fact that Dubois got sick. And what they're going to want you to do is not talk about or bring up all these other antics and shenanigans. And I don't want to let him off the hook. I don't think that's right. I don't think because Dubois got sick, that frees you from all your fucking lies. No, it doesn't restore your credibility. Man, you said it went too far, Mr. James Bond. You need to prove some of this shit. Cream, masseuse. Nah, you can't just go around trying to destroy the credibility that of Shakur Stevenson and think you're just going to walk away because Dubois got sick. And hopefully everybody would just look over that. Look, Dubois got sick. That's no, not. So what? He got sick. So what? Dubois can prove it. They took test results from him. They took blood work. He can prove it. Frank Warren can prove it. What about you? Nah, he doesn't get a pass because Dubois got sick. Nah, you said too much. Breaking into they took my passport. The signing part of the passport, they took it. Bro, get the Nah, bro. Dubois is proving himself to be a warrior. He's been down. He's been on the outs. And he rised himself up to put himself in position to fight Parker. You know, I'm not questioning if Dubois, Dubois wanted this fight. There's nothing that tells me that this version of Dubois was scared of any version of Josh Parker, bro. That man got sick. And that's crazy because when you think about Josh Parker, he fought everybody. He fought all the heavyweights. Yeah, he's got to fight with them all. Yeah, he's got AJ Wilder. He's got who's he got? Damn, Parker's been come to think about it. He's been in there with them all. The only ones is like, Tyson Fury, right? Wow, Josh Parker's been in there with a lot of good freaking heavyweights. Well, what they have to offer. You know, he when he put down what was his name there? Joe Joyce, right? They were calling him the Juggernaut, right? They're like, oh, the Juggernaut. His bone density is like that of Antium. He's superhuman. He said, bow, bow, bow. Yo, Parker beat the brakes off that man, right? And Zilly Zane, he can honestly say, man, wow. Now that I think about it, right? Um, Parker, man, like, yeah, he's been in with a lot of shit. He's got one of the best records right now, I think. I gotta compare him now. Now I'm curious. Now I want to see who else the other heavyweights fought because I never really looked at it like that until just right now when I was just thinking about it. Wow, he's been in there with them all. And now he's about to take one of what many people feel is the boogeyman of the division. I'm about to drop the link right now. If you guys want to join, I would like you guys to come up, front line, come up. And now it's for everybody. Live chat. Anybody want to come in, share your opinion on these upcoming fights? I give the Parker a 65-35 favorite over Bacoli. I think Bacoli is going to gas after the fifth big time. If he can't get Parker out of there, he's going to get stopped, just like the Hunter fight. Well, the Hunter fight, the Hunter fight went the distance. Now Hunter beat him by um was it a split decision? Hunter beat Piccoli or a unanimous decision, but it went the decision. Hunter was you know what Hunter did really well? He boxed Piccoli and he didn't settle down in the fight. Martin Piccoli thought that Hunter was going to wither away from his forward pressure and punching power. Hunter proved that he could take a punch, and he was a little bit elusive. And with good countering and a good jab, um, he showed that that uh that he was able to handle the storm that is Martin Piccoli. But you're right about that, Mr. Miyagi. It's that was my concern in the beginning of this video, was that what kind of shape did they find Martin Piccoli, because of the fact that he didn't even start training camp. I know this with in Jabba, right? So, and they're supposed to fight in May, so he was not in training camp. And like all heavyweights, it just depends. Will he be able to drown him? But I know in shape, Martin Piccoli can go the distance. We've seen him go the distance, like fighters like Hunter, in fact. You know what I'm saying? We've seen him go the distance. So he has a good gas tank. It's just what shape did they find him in? And Josh Parker looks amazing right now. You saw what he looked like standing against Frank Warren today. You know what I'm saying? He was just Jay. I mean, come on, Frank Warren. But I think Frank Warren won that one. He gave him the shove. You know. So what's up, Frontline?
What's happening?
What's going on, man? You sound a little different on your new mobile device.
See what had happened was.
See what happened was, hey, listen, let's just let it go and talk boxing before we get them boxing. You know what I mean? Yo, listen, talk to me, talk to me. What do you think?
Yo, what do you think? What do you think about the weigh-ins today?
Or which part? Which part of it?
Well, just the weigh-ins in general. What do you think? Okay, so let's start. I want to start with the Virgil Ortiz fight.
Okay.
Well, what do you think? I personally think that's going to be the upset of the night.
Upset of the night. Okay.
I
I
think
didn't really
Virgil's getting knocked out.
realize I didn't really realize how much big Ortiz was than Ismail there. I had to see them like standing side by side, and Ortiz is a lot bigger than him. He's gonna hydrate pretty big. Um, that Mexican style coming in. I think that Ortiz might get caught like he got caught in the last fight where he got put down. He likes to try to force his pressure and his ways in. He's not all that great with angles or disguising it. He takes one
Right.
step forward and typically goes in that direction with his attack. That's how this guy was able to put him down twice. Now, Ishmael, look, the world is giving him this phenomenal rating for ring IQ just because he went 12 rounds with Terrence Crawford. Doesn't really mean that, he possesses all these things. Styles make fights. Ortiz is coming in with the Mexican style. And let's see if he can weather, what it is Ortiz too. Because Ortiz can crack. It's an interesting fight. And you think right now Israel's gonna pull off the upset?
I think
Is that
so.
the way?
I think Virgil's going to walk into something,
So you're
and it's
saying
good.
a stoppage?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Ooh. So can I get what round?
Whoa, 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 whoa! You
Yeah!
pushing it left right now.
Listen, front line. See,
you,
listen,
you,
if if you let me get you, you know what I'm saying? You
nah,
know.
nah, 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 nah. I
Look,
got, but I do see Virgil walking into something. I
you
could be
do.
wrong. I could be wrong, but based on his last performance, the
Hmm.
way he got dropped, you got to understand. He's got that Mexican style fighting where he's come forward and he's constantly in your face. The problem though is that Virgil gets careless sometimes and
Yeah.
reckless. So that's where I feel he's gonna make a mistake. He's gonna get cracked or something, and then it might be night night.
Why is Shakur Stevenson fighting his taxi cab driver? So first of all, Shakur Stevenson is not fighting a taxi cab driver. First of all, right? He's fighting Josh Pagley. He's an undefeated fighter. Matter of fact, this fighter is so goddamn committed to the sport of boxing. Is it me or does he have Mike Tyson fighting on his back? What is that a picture of? Do you do you see his back? My man got a picture, Josh Padley, of a boxing event. It has to be like some famous, and I thought it would probably be like a British fight, but I saw it real quick. Kind of looked like Mike Tyson, and it's two guys. It's like swinging in a ring. I didn't get to see it like because he turned around quick in the weigh-in, but there's a guy. He's not playing boxing. He got like a memory of boxing on his back. So he's all in. This guy's a fighter. He's
I think
undefeated. What's up?
I think the problem is that, including myself,
Yeah,
I think the problem is since we don't know him that well,
correct.
we might assume that he's a cab driver. But when you do a little bit of research, you know that he doesn't have pop, but he's got good ring IQ, he's got good footwork, and he moves. And most people that don't got pop, that's what they usually do. They got good ring IQ and they move a lot. But that being said, Shakur also has excellent ring IQ, excellent footwork. So it's probably, I think that Shakur fight is going to be a boring fight. It's not going to be as exciting as people
Well,
want it to
well,
be.
well. I mean, look, he knows the criticism. He knows the task at hand. He knows what Terrence Crawford's been telling him, Andre Ward, and all the legends in his corner. Even his grandfather have been telling him the same thing. Shakur, you're good, you're nice, you prove that. But you're in a business where you have to fill these seats and you're going to have to entertain the fans. Ironically, what I found intriguing leading into the weigh in and after the weigh in was when they picked out their gloves. And Shakur Stevenson made a glove change in this fight for the first time, and I don't know how long. See, for as long as I can remember, if you look at all Shakur Stevenson fights, he wears Everlast. He's not wearing Everlast in this fight. He asked
What's he
for them
wearing this
to
fight?
the Reyes ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, the knuckle, the picture, that little video with him doing the hand grip, changing of the gloves. Like, I'm like, shit, there's like what? You know, so is it going to be another case where that Shakur Stevenson is in a situation where he's going to try to make an excuse for his lackluster performance because he doesn't want to engage and he doesn't want to go in for the kill. He wants to outbox you, outpoint you, but he doesn't want to. Um,
I don't see that being the case here because I mean he picked Patty for a reason.
he
Out of
didn't
the
pick
names that
Patty. He didn't pick
I
Patty.
didn't they give him two names?
Uh,
Musa Golem or something like that,
yeah, and I
and
think
Patty.
yeah, he said he can't make the fight. Patty said yes. We got ourselves a winner.
Okay. But
You
that
know,
being said, I mean, Shakur knows that Patty ain't got knockdown power, so he'll probably press the action. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
yeah, but saying that statement, he doesn't have knockdown power. Um, these guys are fighters that know how to throw punches. A fucking jab hurts. Everything hurts. You
Right.
catch the right guy on the sweet and the on the button, even a guy with no power, as we can see. Just ask um um uh uh what's his name there? Mongia. Just ask Mongia when he got knocked out by Bruno. That came into
That's
that fight
true.
with four knockouts. He
That's
doesn't got
true.
any knockout power. Let's fight this cab driver. Ask him out that fell after the fight. That boy was stretched out. No
That's,
knockout power. Only only knockouts. He only got four knockouts coming into his fight. This guy's pillow fisted. Pillow fisted. Boop, right there. And that's that guy in the World Series that's hit 2 home runs all season, and they pitched to him. And all these boxers know how to turn a punch. All these fighters know how to deliver it. He Shakur's bobbing and weaving at the wrong time, and he bobs and weaves and goes into one. It could be all
it could be,
nights
yeah, he
out.
could get caught.
Bro, I wouldn't want to see it because I don't want to see the American Shakur Stevenson lose his belt for me to prove a point. No, I don't want to see that shit. I
Mr.
want him to,
Miyagi with the $5 super chat.
yeah. I want that belt to stay right here. No matter what, we competing, and I want that belt to stay here. So if anything was to ever happen, and he did that and walked off with Shakur Stevenson's belt on a one hitter quitter, this is boxing. Shit happens, and
Yeah,
I
but
didn't.
what I'm afraid of is it going to the scorecard. Because when you're on that side of the world, 9 times out of 10, they're pretty fucking biased out there. You know what I mean?
Okay. Thank you for
So,
bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that up. I got a couple of things to share right now with,
hey,
and
Mr.
I
Miyagi
will.
just hit you with a super chat again.
Okay, Mr. Miyagi, thank you for the 5 piece. Front line, read that off for me for Mr. Miyagi.
He said Turkey picked Josh Padley because he beat Mark Chamberlain on the AJ versus Dubois undercard that Turkey really liked.
Okay, that's what's up. Now, I'm going to break down something before I answer your super chat, Mr. Miyagi, and thank you for always showing the love and the support to the channel. You are the man. And I would like to bring up one interesting point. And if there's anything part of my video you could ever like, please hit the like, cut it, slice it, dice it, and share it with everyone, right? It's about what I'm about to say right now about Turkey Al Sheikh. And there are a lot of rumors saying that Turkey Al Sheikh and that side of the world are calling these fights, and Turkey seems to be paying the referees or paying the judging, and it's unfair judging or scoring. Now, I would like you guys, I'm going to point out the elephant in the room and the obvious. I just want to remind you about what's taking place. For instance, Turkey Al Sheikh is hosting the event. He's not competing against top rank, Golden Boy. He's not competing against no one. This is Riyadh season. That means he doesn't have to cheat himself. He's not fighting against two sides. He owns both sides. And if Turkey Al Sheikh was paying these judges for these outcomes, then why didn't Tyson Fury win? In fact, the majority of Turkey Al Sheikh, all the fighters he had in these fights, in every Riyadh season, they all lost. In fact, if Turkey Al Sheikh wants to host an event, the best thing for him in his position is just allow them to fight. You'll make more out of that than rather than trying to host an event and control the winner. Why? It's not like you're profiting in any of these events. Tell me he made money back in all of those Riyadh season, hundreds of millions of dollars with all these families of boxers he flew in. Tell me if he made one red cent. So if he's not doing it for the money, what is he rigging these fights so that Las Vegas bookies can win? So Turkey Al Sheikh is concerned with the bookies of the world making their money. Rather than you're already hosting the event, you control everything. You are betting against no one. You don't have to be a gambler all of a sudden overnight. You're worth in the trillions of dollars. The best thing for him to do, just give us the fights we want and let nature take its course. The problem with the judging, now I'm going to get to that, is this. That's where Turkey has no control. See, because of the judging in boxing is from a boxing judging committee. And what they do is every time the fans say, if we're going to have a fight in Puerto Rico, well, then there better not be any Puerto Rican judges. So you know what they do? They fly in judges from Honduras, Panama, Chile. Here's the problem with their system. In Chile, they view fights different. The judges are trained to score it in a different way. In Panama, they view fights different. So when they get called to go to Turkey Al Sheikh's Riyadh season, you got 3 fights from 3 judges from 3 different parts of the world that are all scoring the fights with their eyes different. And that's where their flaw in their system lies. It's that they're getting these judges from all around the world, and they got different perspective than what the American ruling should be. And when you see these judges in Turkey getting these big cards and these numbers, and the guys are these judging system, look at who the judges are. Homeboys from Panama. This guy's from Ecuador. This guy's from China. That's where their flaw is.
But doesn't the boxing commission in general, whether it's WBO, WBA, WBC, or IBF, even Ring, if you want to throw them in there, don't they have a standard scoring system for a fight?
No, that's the problem. None of the major sanctioning bodies have never had a scoring system that only has the power, the judges. And they're an outside source that has no ties to any of the major sanctioning bodies. That's why the major sanctioning bodies and them they be having like pissing contests because the judging are like the cops in boxing. They walk into boxing, and you never know who the fuck they're sending you. And then your world champion got to rely on what this guy says. That was the biggest problem in the UFC in the beginning. Dana White used to pull whatever one hair he had out of his head because he was like, these judges got to be, because they were sending them boxing judges because they didn't have experience in judging UFC events. But if you're going to hire a sanctioned, regulated event, the people that are hosting the event, like the promoters, got to work with the boxing committee or sports committee in that town, right? And then they got to work with them, with the judges, and they send them judges. And typically, Mr. Miyagi, oh shit, Mr. Miyagi, what's up, my man? How you doing? Good, nice to meet you finally. Oh, he went away there for a second. Oh, there he is. He's back up. So, yeah, throw up the Mr. Miyagi symbol. So, he, what it was that these judges and all these outside people, they send you these 3 judges, and like let's say the main event is going to be tonight, and an hour leading into the main event, the 3 judges are called back and they're given an envelope, and then that judge is revealed that he's actually going to be the referee in the main event. And then sometime on smaller scale circuits, they'll tell you which one it is in that night. They use this method so that mafia guys couldn't get to the judges on the night of the fight or the referee. And they would send out 4 referees, and no one knew who was going to be in the ring. So a lot of these things and pitfalls, these organizations have been around for a long time. They've seen a lot of tricks. So yeah, that's why I say it's not the judging per se. It's the way that they put these judges from around the world to see the same thing. And they don't always call it by punches landed or forward aggression or punch effectiveness. We don't know how they're viewing it, you know. Mr. Miyagi, what's up, brother? How you doing? I was just in my train of thought. What happened, brother? You sent me a message here and I took it down before I read. Okay, I got it. Not sure if my headphones is going to come out clear. We'll try. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
Try
yeah.
to connect, brother.
Hello?
Hello, I hear you.
Is it clear?
Yes, I can hear you. Yep.
Oh, sweet. Cheers for letting me on, Edwin.
Yes,
Been
absolutely.
watching it for a while, mate.
Thank you for coming on and thank you for all the love you're showing to the channel. I just want you to know it's gonna go to right things, to following and chasing my passion to cover boxing, and I appreciate everything you do. So you came all this way. Talk to me. Let's talk boxing. What's on your mind?
But over this past week,
Yep.
since I've been seeing all the stuff that's happening to Shakur, it's a bit crazy seeing the response from fans online. Mate, you just can't please people. 4 days notice, and everyone's
Right.
calling this guy electrician, a builder. I'm like, mate, not everyone's got money just to do boxing 100%.
Right. Right. You know, and I say that Josh Padley, I'm not sure if you were on my live stream earlier, you got to catch the beginning of this, but I um I gave Josh Padley a big huge shout out, and I commended him for taking this fight. And it really shows the difference between fighters from over there and American fighters, where American fighters are more reluctant to put their undefeated record on the line. And here comes Josh Padley, you know, daring to be great, daring to rise up to the occasion, and showing the world that I was just looking for my opportunity. When opportunity comes a knocking, would you be ready? Thanks to this young man, he's got Shakur still fighting on the card. Had he said no, who else would have they have gotten? So I really commend Josh Padley for stepping up on very, very short notice, you know. And then when we think about the situation, I just want to, address this, that yeah, Shakur Stevenson wasn't training for Josh Padley, but neither was Josh Padley training for Shakur. They both took the fight. They both know about as much as they know about it, their opponent, and it's about as even as you're gonna get it, you know. So, you know, I think Josh Padley, man, and Shakur can't catch a break in the media. They're all over him. You know, the young man is, he didn't ask for any of this. He all he wanted to do was fight. But when you choose to engage in social media and you've gone this far, that's where this sometimes these roads lead you, you know. So yeah.
I just find it ridiculous that a lot of people don't realise how highly ranked this fella is.
Mm,
And when he beat Mark Chamberlain on the AJ Dubois undercard, Mark
hmm.
Chamberlain, I'm pretty sure he's ranked in the top 10 at the time. I know, man, it's just crazy. I feel so bad for Shakur as well. He just can't. And people out here saying he should just go and fight Tank straight away. He's coming off a year in activity with a bad hand injury. They wouldn't accept that shit for Tank.
Yeah, look, I'm glad that they didn't put that Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson fight together, because had they scheduled it, he was still going to break his hand. Nobody could ever say, predict that. So if he was going into training camp with somebody else and they had made that tank, what do you think they would have said about Shakur? Oh, he's faking a hand injury. Oh, he did this to get out of the tank fight. So thank God they didn't schedule the tank fight during the time he did break his hand in training. You know, um, so that part right there. But as far as Shakur Stevenson not being able to catch a break in the public eye, some of the scrutiny lies on his feet, his very feet. When you walk around saying that you're the best and you're gonna do this to this guy and you're gonna do this and this, but years start to go by and we're sitting around wondering what the fuck is going on. And then with his performances, that's what really um that's what really you know it didn't help him. His performance didn't help him at all coming up. What's up, Bam Bam Boogie? How you doing? Thank you for joining the live stream, brother. How you been? Now
He
Bam is
probably he probably don't know how to work it yet. He got to
Hold
take
on,
the
hold on, hold on, hold on. Can you hear me?
oh, I got him.
ahí
He's right.
está.
I hear him. We hear him.
What it do? What it do? What it do? My family.
All right, all right.
Listen. Before I start, I just want to say thank you, man, for letting me come up to your panel. I
All
want
right.
everyone to understand that if you are following Round One Sports Talk, if you follow sites or pages like the Boxing Voice or Mill City, you guys can walk out your house with your head up because nobody's gonna run no boxing game on you. You understand? Because you're learning from the best, and Edwin is one of the best out here. So thank you, man. Once again.
Yo, man, thank you. I appreciate that, man. The kind words. Thank
Que
you.
lambón.
You know what I mean? Nah, bro. You know what I mean? First time on the show, Frontline. Frontline
What?
try to get me beat up by my girl. At least Bam Bam showing me love.
Hey,
You know what I
don't put
mean?
that shit on me. Bang bang, what's up, Mr. Miyagi? What's happening?
Mr. Miyagi, you still there?
I think he got it on
Probably,
mute.
he probably walked away for a second. But
Yo,
Bam,
Mr.
talk to me.
Mr.
Talk to me,
Yeah,
Bam.
yeah,
What's
yeah,
up?
yeah, 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 yeah. Mr. Miyagi, thank you for your support, brother. We truly appreciate you. Every time you come through, you show
Absolutely.
love.
Always.
And we don't overlook that, man. Thank you, man. I'm excited for this weekend. I think we have a lot of good fights coming up. I think uh, the Bacoli fight is gonna be amazing. I think the Madrimov and Virgil Ortiz fight is also gonna be a banger. And if you wanna know who's gonna win the main event, you gotta tune in. That's it. I mean, you're not gonna get the pick now, right?
Well, nah, you
Hey, you leave it up to Edwin. He'll pick your brain little by little.
Facts,
Like
facts, facts.
yo, listen, I don't need Bam Bam's pick because I already know what Bam Bam's pick is. It's gonna be unanimous decision.
UD is
Or you
UD.
do, all right? So I don't need to ask him his pick. You know what I mean? But um I think the same thing for the situation and that with what this person right here say what he says right here, gaming. He says
Anonymous
that
Gaming. He said Bacoli has a puncher's chance against Parker, but he might gas out
that's
and
what
get
I'm
and get outboxed.
that's what I'm thinking about. How good in shape is or what version of Martin Bacoli are we really getting? And that's really what I'm starting to ask myself in this fight. That's the unknown. That's the unknown. It's not like we're getting a Josh Parker, right, and a Martin Bacoli that both went into training camp and they were coming into this fight. It was such short notice that he couldn't even make the weigh in, you know, to get in, to fly in, and to be on stage. Remember, they don't gotta cut weight. He just gotta be there. He just gotta show up. And flight situation, I looked up the flight. What was it? 3-hour flight from where he's at to where they're at. It's 3 hours. He's
Do you
not
think
gonna have
Was Bacoli training though?
that. I don't know. That's why everybody keeps saying he's gonna get gassed out. And 6, 6, 7, 8. That's the majority of the consensus of the boxing world is saying if this Martin Bacoli doesn't put out Josh Parker in the first half of this fight, that Josh Parker shows he can go 12 rounds. Martin Bacoli showed he could go 12 rounds, but with a training camp. We don't know the version of Martin Bacoli we're getting. No one really knows. If you ask Martin Bacoli, he was right. He was running a triathlon the day before yesterday. He's in the best shape of his life. That's what he's going to say. And he's not going to turn down the fight. You don't turn down Saudi money.
So wait, are they fighting for a belt now, or is this just gonna be a regular?
Yes. Yes. No, they are. They're fighting for, one of those secondary regular belts, interim
Oh, the
type,
participation trophies.
the participation trophy. So they
Gotcha.
they made it interesting because Dubois was the man with the belt in this situation. He had the IBF. So, to make things and make, I guess, Josh Parker and them feel like they didn't waste their time. Sorry for the inconvenience type shit. The promoters went crying to the sanctioning bodies, and the sanctioning bodies agreed. More money, more money. Whoever wins that belt, guess what? You got to pay sanctioning fees on it. So the sanctioning bodies didn't, detest from it. Same thing that's happening with Ryan Garcia and Rolly. Same situation. They're fighting at 147 for the WBA World Championship, but neither of them are the WBA World Champion. Same shit. Same shit. Yeah. And yo, Bam, who do you got in the Virgil fight? Bam walked away from his phone.
No, I'm here. I'm here. So
Okay.
listen,
Who do,
I want to
who do
start
you
with.
got in the Virgil fight?
I want to start with what you just finished talking about, which is
Okay.
Bacoli. I want to say that, yeah, you're right. I mean, he might come in under shape. I want to say that he's going to be out of shape for the first 3 rounds, but after the fourth round, ese va a calentar. He's going to start remembering what he knows all his life, and he's going to go in there and bang that dude out. Now, this guy Parker, didn't he lose his last fight by knockout? Didn't somebody knock Parker out?
No.
Is that a different
No,
guy?
he knocked out Dante Wilder.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah,
He made him spin around. No, Zay made him spin around.
Zhang did
Zay
that.
made
Yeah,
him
who
spin
did
around,
Parker? Naldo. Salute to my brother Naldo, man. That's
and
my
Parker
brother.
put him away.
He's the guy with the stats. He's the guy that's gonna tell us all the answers. Who did Parker fight last? Can somebody tell us that?
That was Zhang.
He fought Zilly Zhang last.
No. Zhang. Oh, I don't know. I could be wrong.
He won on points.
Oh,
Yeah,
he won.
he did.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I think Bacoli's a fighter. He's gonna remember everything he was taught when he first started, and it's just a matter of getting warm. He's a heavyweight,
Yeah.
so he's naturally big. I mean, he's not. I mean, he's gonna take shots, but
The question is, Bang, is he prepared to go 12 though?
he has.
Because there's one thing he's gonna remember everything that he's been taught during his career, but you can't train endurance. You can't train. I mean, you can't remember endurance. You can't remember none of that. All that comes from working out and you know.
What's up, Armando? How you doing? Yeah. Finish your thought. Finish your thought. Front line. What happened?
Well, no, because he's saying after 3 rounds to warm up and get into the swing of things. But okay, what about after the fifth, sixth, or seventh round? Is he gonna gas because he's
Okay.
not conditioned, or he didn't have
Right.
time to condition?
Good point.
Those are
Good
the
questions.
if or
Right.
what
Those
could
are the
happen
questions. Right. So
factors.
listen, the guy is being he's been preparing himself for his next fight, which is that African dude Ife or whatever his name is.
Jabba.
Yeah, so he has a fight lined up. I mean, is he in training camp? I don't think so. But as a boxer, you're staying in shape. You're always waiting for that phone call. I think Nando, there's
Can you
feedback,
hear me?
right? Yeah, there's some.
No, that's Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi was trying to say something, but he sounds like real far.
All right, all right. So Bacoli, right? Like I said, I think in the first 3 or 4 rounds, he's gonna get acclimated to the environment, and I want to say after the fourth round, he's gonna start letting it go, and it's gonna be a bang out because that's all he knows how to do. He's a big dude. He comes forward, he takes a lot of shots, and he gives a lot of shots. So it's gonna be a good fight.
I, I don't know, man. I don't know how you think he's gonna get stronger from the fourth round on. He's just gonna get better. The consensus believe that he's gonna get more tired.
We'll
Now,
see. Yeah,
one thing for sure that I see that big heavyweights that can move have given Martin
move.
Piccoli trouble. Mobility heavyweights that are not just standing in front of you like Big Baby there, right? Uh, Josh Parker moves more. He knows how to deal with power because he was very aware of Deontay Wilder's power in that fight. And I just think he could apply the pressure a little bit earlier, but he did the right thing. It paid off well. But Josh Parker got power. I can't wait to see this fight. And speaking of Zilly Zhang, isn't he fighting on the card too?
Yes, sir.
So come on, man. I mean, this card is big. We got so many fights right. $25, bro. This is amazing. This is amazing. $25. Yeah, man. And it's like it comes to that thing where I was saying, like, all the people talking about Turkey's scoring, and Turkey's probably ripping his hair out. Like, tell these Americans, I can't control the scoring. The scoring is they tell me what to do. You can't just pick your judge. You can't pick your referee. You'll know who they send when he walks through the door. And of years of hosting events, you guys meet basically all the judges and all the referees they have. The ones with the most, how would you say, like they've been there the longest, they probably get the bigger gigs. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure in some events in the United States, like Las Vegas, some of these guys can, send me this guy. In America, you could probably get it done. But all these other little, nah, bro, they fly these guys in. You don't know who's going to play for your plane ticket or what the office said or where they send you. That's basically how it goes. Then you get a phone call. Yup, you're going to Italy tomorrow to host this event. And not all events are glamorous. You show up to something, it's a freaking rinky-dink bar, and you're there as a judge. Next day, next week, you might be in a hotel somewhere. And then you'll get that phone call for that Vegas fight. It's kind of how it goes. But like I said, if you understand what I was saying, like the flaw in the judging system is because they bring judges from different parts of the world. And in different parts of the world, they view boxing differently. There might be a judge, he's been sitting there for 30 years saying, bro, if you're not throwing punches and going there and you're always running. And the guy's outpointing him. But the judge doesn't like the fact that he's running. He awards forward aggression. And the guy's like Mayweathering him. But no one liked it, Mayweather, because he was too good and elusive. And they would just wanted to punch him in the face. So there's some judges that love the sweet science. They see every punch. And then there's some guys that award by effective punching. You might have punched him 30 times, but he hit you once and you staggered. He's winning the round. That's where the flaw in the system of judging lies. That these judges that they're flying in, they're not all seeing the fight the same.
Right.
That's why you get those uneven cards.
I agree. I think we need a universal scoring system.
In which the WBA, thank you for saying that, the WBA announced in their tournament that after I think the second round, the scoring is going on the board. You guys hear this? In the
Okay.
tournament, it's like 42 countries all competing. Anando, you know anything about this? Naldo.
Naldo está perdido con Luna Azul y la
Con
Cool
the cool
Light.
light. Yo, but they said that about the judging. And in the WBC in the tournaments, like 42 countries competing. They're gonna run this tournament, and for the first time, they're gonna be putting. Anando,
Yo,
eso.
Yeah, put your thing on mute,
Naldo,
Papa. Put your mic on mute.
Dímelo.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to give you attention.
You hear me?
Yeah,
Naldo, but the background it's echoing.
yeah. You got like a TV or something on. Yeah, I can hear like the news.
It's the replay. It's the replay. Yeah,
It's
he
echoing.
has the volume on whatever other device.
Yo, okay.
Ahora,
Ahora
ahora
sí.
sí.
You got it? He must have been on delay a little.
He's in the fourth dimension here in the
No,
past.
that's the loot.
Mm.
That's so, Mr. Miyagi. What are your thoughts on that?
Scoring system.
Which fight?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, you want to talk
Oh,
fights? Let's talk
we were
fights.
talking
Hold
about
on.
what do you think of the idea about the WBC implementing the new scoring system, the tournament? Is it good for boxing? And also who do you have in the Josh Parker and Martin Piccoli fight?
Whoa, Mr. Miyagi. Before you answer that last
Listen,
part of that question, don't fall for
you
Edwin's
can answer
tactics.
here because Mr. Miyagi, he's not coming after the Notre Dame's World Championship, although he can. So if you are, save your pick for the night. You can just merely say who you think's gonna win in the fight. But I would like to know who you got in the fight.
And
I
how?
got Parker, I think,
Okay.
because he was training for an aggressive puncher anyway, and Dubois got deceptively long arms.
Ooh.
Even though Martin Bacoli's got height, I just feel like Joseph Parker, his last two fights have got him ready for those tall punchers. And Martin Bacoli, I think he's just gonna gas out after the fifth if he can't get him out of there. And Parker's just gonna keep rattling that head for that entire fight.
So what round was that gonna be in? Yo, listen.
Hold
Sneaky
on, let me write
bastard.
this down.
What I
Let me write
tell
this
you?
down.
Yeah. Hold on.
No. Hey, bang. We already know your pick. It's either gonna be UD,
What
SD, or
round was that?
something.
Listen, look, man, look. I can respect that, and shit, I can go with that. I might just have to take Parker in this fight because the one thing that I probably overlooked is Dubois. Once he was out in my head in the fight, I kind of stopped thinking about him. Mr. Miyagi just bring up a good point. Josh Parker was training to beat Daniel Dubois. His game plan was around a fast kind of punching heavyweight, a guy that can punch off the ropes, obviously the way he knocked out Joshua, a guy that can move. He's tasted defeat before. He knows how to will himself back in a fight. So that was pretty interesting. That once I thought of him out of the fight, I stopped thinking for a second there. I guess I never thought to step back and think. Wait a minute, Josh Parker was training to beat Dubois. So, I'm not going to say that Martin Piccoli is a better puncher than Dubois. I think that I think everything that Martin Piccoli throws hurts. I think that his jab hurts. Okay, so but fighters have proven And they have shown that he is not just this fierce knockout puncher. Small heavyweights like Hunter were able to sustain his punches for the entire fight. So it shows mobility heavyweights, which is Josh Parker, which he took on a big puncher like Zandy Zane. He's a big puncher. He did gas out fairly in the fourth, I felt, but he kind of fought at that speed the rest of the fight. You know, he really didn't fade from that. But he didn't have that explosiveness to really engage with Parker. You know, so Parker is a fast, pretty big guy. He might stop him. He might, man. The more I think, he might just. I gotta go with reality here. I gotta stop going with the fact that, Martin Piccoli's the boogeyman of the heavyweight division. Everyone's avoiding him. No one wants to fight him. Well, we might not be getting that version of him in 4 days' notice. So
don't forget he's going to be jet lagged.
No, 3 hours. 3-hour flight.
From the Congos to
Yes.
I don't know, man.
It's 3 hours. I already checked it. I wanted to know if it was going to be jet lag, all that. I'm a boxing bug like that.
Armando would know. Armando would know.
Listen, I looked at it on airline myself.
I don't believe you. I believe
on
Arnaldo.
The map. Okay.
I believe Arnaldo.
Hey, Arnaldo, look it up.
I believe whatever Arnaldo says. If Arnaldo says it takes 3 hours from Africa to Europe, I mean, I'm gonna believe him. But he's coming from the Congos, bro.
Bro,
he's gotta fly.
Where do you think Saudi Arabia, Egypt is?
It's in Africa. You're right.
Stop playing with me, bro.
Well, Saudi Arabia's not.
But it's a 3-hour flight, man.
No,
they're not even. They're in the same time zone.
They're in this. Arnaldo.
I thought he had to go to 3 stops. He had to get 3 different planes.
He did have to get 3 planes, 3 different stops because of their bullshit ass plane service. Because all these planes going down, and all the stops and precautionary measures they're making in flights nowadays. Because it seems like a plane's going down every week. So now he airborne, a 3-hour flight turns into like crazy nonsense.
No, that's what I was saying. 10 hours.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. It takes 20 hours from Puerto Rico to Saudi Arabia. 20 hours, almost a whole day.
Okay.
Certain parts of the United States takes 24 hours.
Right, but he's on that side of the world. Martin Piccoli is on that side of the world with them.
So when you listen to what Frontline just said, it's about a 10-hour flight. It kind of makes sense.
No, that was Mr. Miyagi.
When Mr. Miyagi said that, it kind of makes sense. About 10 hours.
No, listen.
Unless Nando says something different. Hold on. Unless Nando said,
He's checking right now.
Nando's on. Nando's gonna come back. He gonna tell us.
Edwin said 3. Remember,
he might be too many Bud Lights in. He ain't texting shit.
No, hey, don't disrespect him.
It's Coors Light. Yeah, but that's what made sense because he was on that side of the world too.
So 3 hours, and he's there, right? That's what you're saying?
It should have took 3 hours, but Mr. Miyagi's made a good point because you will sometimes have to make stops, and sometimes a 3-hour flight can get turned into 6-10 hours because of delays, the weather that we're having, whatever reason. And
don't forget what's happening in that area of the world as well, with all the Middle East and that at the moment.
Look at that, and all this, things that are also going on in the precautions of all these planes going down. Sometimes you gotta take off, land here, wait for a plane just to get there. You could turn what a short trip should have been into a long day. That's happened. I can see that. When I looked it up from where they were saying he was at, I'm trying to tell you, it said 3 hours on Google Maps. And then I said to myself, wow, that was ironic that he didn't make the weigh-in. And then now what Mr. Miyagi is saying, and I'm saying, yup, that's probably what happened. Some shit's going on in the region, some firing going on, and they gotta land and until they get clearance, and you can do all that, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I thought I heard it on an interview. Either Eddie Hearn or Frank Warren was saying something about 10 hours or something for him to get there. It would literally be turned on fight day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but don't you think that's gonna be draining for a fighter or last minute to be flying like that, not properly rested, not properly
Jet lag.
Well, that's his choice, isn't it? He said yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah. And let me tell you, Bacoli is making enough money in this fight to buy 20 houses in his country. 20. No, serious. He can buy 20 houses. So,
look, is that a good thing or a bad thing, right? You think about these fighters. On any night, any wrong punch can change your life. Not preparing, not
Yep.
not not bringing the best out of yourself can cause you to get an injury. And the fact that you don't have the money to say no to this fight, you don't have the means to turn this kind of, you know, and they put this carrot in your face. And sometimes it's unfair to these men and women. You put them in a situation, if you say no, the next time that phone rings, your career will be over. Because ain't nobody going to call you. Because if you don't think most of these boxing promoters and networks rub elbows with each other, you know,
I not to confirm. Congo to Saudi Arabia, 6 hours and 10 minutes.
from the Congo,
From Congo to Saudi Arabia, 6 hours and
okay,
10 minutes.
that's to Saudi Arabia. He's not fighting in Saudi Arabia.
yes, he is.
Where, where is he fighting? Hold on.
Riyadh season is in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the okay. There's no, that's not what I'm saying. I understand it's out there on that side of the world. I'm saying, what's the town? The name of the town? Like, is it that far away? It like Florida, for instance. Florida's 10 hours long. If you tell me I'm going to Jacksonville, Florida, yeah, you're still in Florida, but what part of Florida are you in? Are you in Miami? Or are you in
Yeah.
Jacksonville? Because that's a 10-hour difference.
Driving, Edwin, driving. A plane will take you from Miami to Tampa in like an hour, 30 minutes.
Oh, great.
45 minutes from Tampa to Miami
45
is
in an
45 minutes.
hour.
If you drive it, it's
Yeah,
4.5
driving
Right.
is
hours.
10
So that's
hours.
okay. So that's awesome. So that's awesome, right? So where is it? Okay, Armando, you're here. You're here now in your detective work. Where did you see how far is the fight? I'm about to Google it right now again. Mando, CSI, report to duty.
I think he's just good at
I
research.
mean, my
The getting on
my
the shit.
crime lab. You know what I mean?
Not the next to the camera button. There's a microphone button. See if you got that
He can't see it
activated.
right now. He's like he's 12 quarters light in. He's like this.
You seeing
Yeah.
the devil? Yo, Mr. Miyagi, what do you think about while Naldo gets that situation? What do you think about the Adames and Shiraz fight?
That's a good fight. Dumbass, he don't fight enough, really, for me. Like, what was his last fight? About almost a year out, wasn't it?
Hmm.
I think,
His last fight was six, yeah, June 15th of 24.
yeah, so it's been a little while. I think Hamza Shiraz should get him out of there, but from what I was
Can you
hearing
hear
on
me?
some of the,
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Can you
Miss
hear
Miyagi.
me?
Yes, Ananda, we can hear you. Let Mr. Miyagi finish his thought. Then I want you to chime in. Go ahead, Mr. Miyagi. What were you saying?
Well, what was it? I was watching. I think it was the Boxing Voice,
Mm-hmm.
and I swear they were saying, "Oh no, was it the Boxing Voice?" I can't remember where I heard it. I was watching some podcast, and I swear Adames has been training with David Benavidez, and I forget the other two names now, but all tall, you know, tall volume punching fighters. And me personally, I think he might just clip Shiraz. I'll put it in there, looping left overhand will floor because Hamza Shiraz, I haven't really seen his chin being tested yet
Yeah.
properly. It's toss up
So,
really. I think Shiraz should do the job, but I don't really know what Adames is going to come out.
in what round you said this was gonna go down in?
It's really
What?
fun at first. I don't worry.
What? What?
If you want me to, I'll give you all of my predictions now because I've put a couple of bets on.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, you want me? Okay. I think. How,
Well, hey, Mister, you falling for it, Mister Miyagi.
no, I'm
He,
just trolling. I'm just playing and see.
he can say. He can say. Listen.
Hey, hey, Mister Miyagi, give him all the
No,
fucked up picks so that when he goes to
don't
come
say that
fight
because you're
night.
gonna stir my viewers off just in case they think those picks are real. All right, okay? Because let's Miss Miyagi, man. Look, the bottom line is these guys think that I can't call these fights no more, right? They think I'm gonna
Oh,
steal your fight pick, right? When we run the Notre Dame World Championship, and I'm gonna use your pick to win. But that can't be further from the truth, okay? Because here at Round One Sports Talk, right? As long as you don't bet unanimous decision like Bam Bam, then everyone has a chance. So I have my own intuitive mind, and though Frontline thinks that I'm going to steal everybody's pick, those are lies. Do not listen to him. Those are lies. I have this under control. I am going to win this week. As a matter of fact, we haven't even talk about the freaking main event. Who do you guys got in the main event? Do you
Arthur.
got and still, or do
Yep.
you got and new?
And still,
And still, we got one for
and
and still. Front
he'll
line,
make it look easier.
I got and still.
bam, bam.
Yeah, I agree. And still,
Three and still. All right, so
Yeah,
fuck it. I'm a
and I'll give you this. I'm not gonna tell you the round, but it'll be by a knockout
okay.
this
Okay,
time.
check this out. Right, one of these kids are doing his own thing. One of these kids ain't one of the same. I'm going the other way. I'm saying upset and new. And I'm going to go the other way. The only reason why I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to share this with you guys now, right, is this. If anybody can beat Arthur, it's Demetrius Bivol. In that weight division at 175 pounds, out of everybody else that's left, although the monster, David the Monster Benavidez and his father are being flown in to sit there courtside, so to speak, at the ring, to give the impression that he's going to fight the winner. But I'm here to tell you right now, that's not the truth. David the Monster Benavidez is not fighting the winner of neither of those guys. I know that for a fact. Because
You think they got a
no,
rematch clause?
no, it's just that David the Monster Benavidez doesn't want that smoke. And the way I did with
With
either
who?
of them, and the way I determined that,
No,
check
I
this
don't
out.
buy that.
Check this
I don't
out. The
buy
way I
that.
determined that was his father gave it away. His father has not mentioned any of those fighters. He's mentioned everybody else. He even hinted that his son was going to grow up to cruiserweight. The one thing his father's not saying is Arthur or Demetrius Bivol's name. That's it. All he's doing is therefore lure. But I tell you right now, they might be too big for that man. Demetrius and Arthur. And they might be too big of punchers. And this impression that David the Monster Benavidez is a true 175 pounder, really? The first guy he fought went 12 rounds, and then the second guy you fought, which was David Morale, he's not a true 175 pounder. They see how big these dudes are. His father, when he talks, he tells the truth. Look at all the names his father said. Of all the opponents his son is about to fight, why ain't none of the opponents, not one of them, is Arthur or Demetrius Bivol? That's when I knew. I sat there and I looked at it and I was like, they don't want to fight him. They don't want to fight him. Then Turki Al-Ashi extends a full page paid access VIP flight to the fight. You think you're going to pass that up? They're probably going to lick your balls on the way to the fight. All the damn help. It's going to be fucking luxurious. And all I think, they got him dressed up in a nice dress, nice heels, crown, right there, pretty, to give the impression. But his father said it all. All these weeks, all these months, right after the David Morrell fight, not one time. Who do you want? Who do you want? Look at all the names they said. And I started to break it down. I was like, I was looking at it. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I've seen this before. Watch, mark my words. And if you ain't heard it anywhere else, I'll stand on it here around One Sports Talk. I'm trying to tell you, bro. I just don't see it happening. But if he proves me wrong, he proves me wrong. I would like to see that. I really would. Because I think that David the Monster Benavidez needs more help and more acclimating to the division before he takes on the giants of the division. And back to Arthur, Father Time is undefeated. 39 years old. Come on, bro. When's his birthday? When will he be 40? And that bad knee held up this time. I don't think that, that's why I think they ran it back so fast, because shit, cash in on one of the biggest fights, early. Don't let a year go by, because, this guy is not getting any younger. So, I'm on the line that Arthur can end still, yes. And he could even knock out Demetrius Bivol if he's not careful. At any time, Arthur got that one punch knockout power. So when one punch can change the fight, makes the fight interesting. But just out of the love of the sweet science, I believe that Demetrius Bivol is the better boxer out of the two. And if I have to bet on boxing, I'm gonna bet on the boxer. So yeah, he could lose again. Yes, he could. But if anybody can beat Arthur, it's Demetrius Bivol. So
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That first fight was
it was
real
close.
close too. Like real close.
I mean, at the end though, if there was one more minute left on that clock, I think Arthur catches up to his ass. He had him like flaring on the ropes at the end. But the majority of the fight, 1 through 10, Demetrius Bivol was right there with him. Going backwards all night will drain you, and it'll get you exhausted. I think that Demetrius saw that he was being pushed backwards the majority of the night. He got hit by some big punches, and I can imagine that those punches were rattling in his head. So as far as that goes, yeah, he's got a big assignment in front of him, but I don't think it's impossible. What's up, Tro?
Hey, to answer your question, Carlos put in the chat where they're fighting in Kingdom Arena in Saudi
Kingdom
Arabia.
Arena.
That's
See,
where the
now,
fight's at.
okay. Now we got to go from Kingdom Arena to where he was
To
at.
Congo.
Yeah, the flight. And then add it from there. Because he could have been adding up the entire continent of that part in 6 hours. But wait a minute, where are you? Like, because the thing that we looked up when Frank Warren said it was 3 hours. You know what I mean? I know Camachito was the one that looked it up for me, but still, he said it was 3 hours, and I was like, okay, because we wanted to know about the jet lag. Like, they were like, yo, but is he gonna be the time frame? Is he gonna be able to catch up to the time frame? And when we saw it, we were like, man, they're on the same time frame. This is perfect.
Hey, I'm gonna answer this question real quick. Do you think the Rican can knock out or win against Brian Norman? He's talking about Derek Cuevas. Yes, the answer is yes. That's my pick.
Derek Cuevas just might shock the world, bro. There's this opportunity. I
Yeah,
think Brian
for
Norman
sure.
Jr. try to take a softer fight instead of like fighting Jerome Boots Ennis, and then his last fight got canceled. And Cuevas here is the right opponent. He could beat Cuevas. It definitely gives you a good name under your belt. And I would like to see how both men fare against each other. But that fight right there in particular, that's a 50-50 fight if I had to. 50-50. Frontline, who do you got winning in that fight? In what round?
Hold on, somebody asked you a question here. Kingdom John Doe. He said, "What bets you think I should take, Bakoli and Shakur for the stoppage?"
Neither for the stoppage. Neither. I wouldn't bet on Shakur on a stoppage. The only way you bet on that, if you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna take a chance. If you're making one of those kinds of bet, if you were doing, if you were like, hey, fuck it, this is gonna pay out a lot, and those are one of those kind of bets that you put in and just let me try to, you know what I mean, get that, them odds, them big odds or whatever. But what tells me that Shakur Stevenson is gonna stop anybody with that hand injury, switching the gloves? I more line the less say that fight's gonna go the distance, even against Josh Parker. Padley here, right?
Unless that snack power pops up.
I don't know, but and then with the Bakoli fight, how do I see Bakoli stopping Parker? Parker full training camp, everything? No. If anything, I think that Parker's gonna have better success the late rounds, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Those are going to be Parker's rounds. And it depends if he can stop Bakoli, or Bakoli's real strong and he weathers the storm, or he hits Josh Parker with a big punch to make him stand back and think a little. It's interesting. It's interesting, but I definitely can't say 100% that Bakoli will stop Josh Parker. That would be something I would have to see. I would have to see that. He's coming in to play spoiler on a card where Josh Parker was truly going into a fight trying to make himself heavyweight champion of the world. The type of training Josh Parker just endured is probably the best training he's ever done. I pretty much can tell you that. I don't think Josh Parker went halfway just to fight Daniel Dubois. I'm pretty sure we're going to get the best version of Josh Parker we've probably ever seen. He was fighting for a real world title until the winds got knocked out of his sail. Then they said interim. So he's still going to fight for a belt. It's just not going to be an official, but he'll still get his shot. They'll reschedule this against him and Dubois. And they'll live to fight another day.
Which one you reading? The one about the
if he learns how to read Spanish, he'll get more popular? No, because
that's
because first of all, Shakur's black when he's winning. When he's losing, he's Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? On the sense of not giving those good performances, not losing in the sense of losing in the ring, but losing in the media eye, in the social media when they're kicking him while he's down. He's winning the fights, but not the greatest performance. Now he's Puerto Rican. He starts knocking people out, he's going to be black tomorrow. So that's what I mean about America. America and Puerto Rico, they got this kind of deal that Americans only acknowledge Puerto Ricans when we're winning, when we got world titles. If not, if we lose, well, Puerto Rico, they tried to shoot for a title tonight and they came up short. Now they talk to us as a separate entity when we lose. So America only accepts us when we win. You feel me? And it's kind of like
Yeah, it's the same shit that happened with Subirel Matias when he lost. Everybody's like, "Oh fuck, he's not the boogeyman
no,
like
no,
they
no, no, yeah,
claim."
no. He's a Puerto Rican fighter now. And when he wins the
Yeah,
belt, he's an American Puerto Rican fighter.
yeah.
You see? So it's like man, they shit on Shakur, man, and he can't win. He can't win. His
One thing I could
yeah.
say, regardless if he claims to be black or Puerto Rican, you got to give Shakur credit for his skills. He does have a good
He has a
skill set
no.
when it comes to boxing.
He's got game. You know what I'm saying? He has a selection of punches. He can reach in his bag. He knows.
Good
Yeah,
defense, good
and that
footwork.
all comes together because his uncanny ability to understand distance. He really knows the distance in between the guys and the burst of speed when he comes off the front foot. He fights longer than what you would think, and when he knows how to anticipate your movement. He knows when, like, if a fighter's like this and he's gonna release to go down for the punch, that's where Shakur's punch is coming in. The minute you start to move your hand, that's when his shot's coming in. That's called anticipation. He's already reading you to the point he knows what you're gonna do. So when you go to throw a punch, he's already sniped you like that. He can make reads. Not every boxer can do this shit. Not everybody times they see a fighter and they like, oh, he can't read that. All he's basically doing is fighting. There's levels to this. And as a fighter, as you get better, you develop and you add more things to your arsenal. You start to learning how to read things, how to track movement. And that's when those things come into play. But very early in your career, basically a lot of these guys are just going through the motions, what they learned on the pad, how they throw punches on the bag. They're literally just doing that. They're not setting everything up. Then they start to get into that point in their career where they start to understand that. If you miss 2 punches, don't throw the third one. Never throw the third punch. And these are just things you learn in the gym over time. So there's a lot of things that Shakur Stevenson, I really truly believe he was born to fight. He understood a lot of small things about boxing that it would take a lifetime to teach some of these men and women. So that's what made him special. Now, does he need a sports therapist? Like I was telling you, where that baseball player that goes into a slump, he's a home run hitter, he just can't see the ball. It's been like a month. They send him to a sports therapist. Talk shit out. What's going on? Why are you a little gun shy? What is your fear? And I believe the fear that they put into Shakur's head comes from the men that he has around him. All those undefeated fighters and legends. And the pressure of being undefeated would make you cautious rather than aggressive. If you didn't have anything to lose and everything to gain, you'd be fighting to kill. But Shakur's fighting like he wants to keep everything he has. Like he's scared to lose it.
Yeah, you can't go
And
into
I
a fight
believe
like that
that's
with
where
that
the
mindset.
difference lies. and in his mentality of how he's approaching the fight. Now, I would like to know what you guys' thoughts.
Was Shakur always like that? Because I feel like that all of that narrative started from that De Los Santos fight because he didn't really run against what was his last fight? Haratunya? I can't say his name. I can't I can't say his name. The last guy he fought because he kind of stood there in exchange with him and slipped punches, whereas De Los Santos he was really running around that ring.
Oh, you're talking about
Yeah, that's it.
Hartunian?
I can't say his name.
Yeah, yeah, yep. Well,
I,
go ahead.
I just feel like we'll know. This is why I was intrigued with this Floyd Schofield fight because I wanted to see how well his hands had repaired. Because he hurt one in that De Los Santos fight, didn't he? And then he broke the other one in training
Right,
for uh, Joe Cordina fight. And they're different hands. That right hand that's a massive surgery he's had there. His knuckle is huge.
mm,
And he can't close the middle finger properly. If you ever see him sitting there, his middle finger's always slightly higher than the rest of his fingers. So I don't know how well effective
You
that
think?
right hand's going to be.
right. Hmm.
Well, his right hand's his lead hand, so yeah, it could affect him.
But it depends because if he slips and counters, you catch people at the right point. I mean, you look at Bruno Saras with Munguia, hit him straight on the chin, and that was it.
That was it. I try to tell Frontline that. You say these guys don't got punching power. Yeah, ask Mongia about
Hey,
Bruno.
hey,
You
do you
know
know what the similarities between the Munguia fight and the Stevenson fight? Both
what's
guys
that?
have only 4 knockouts.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They do. Frontline. Shakur go to sleep. I know it.
Nah,
I know. Hey.
the only way he going to sleep is if he walks into
Wow.
something. Shakur's too smart. He's too smart to get touched or any. I mean, he's one of the boxers that get hits the fewest. You know what I mean? And he's fought top dogs. I mean, if you look at Shakur's resume, I
He
mean,
fought. He fought. Amnanium, Edwin De Los Santos, and then he fought that Asian dude. You,
the the
Chino. Yeah,
Chino,
yeah. Then he fought the
Yoshino,
Chino, and then he fought Robinson.
the
Robinson
Brazilian.
Conceiao. Yeah, the Brazilian that beat
Yep,
Foster. Him.
yep,
And then
yep.
Oscar Valdez.
He fought Jamal Herring too.
You fought Jamal? Yeah. Shakur Stevens. Okay, yeah. So um the thing that concerns me is what Miss Miyagi just touched on right now. The hand. Remember, Frontline, I was just talking to you about this. What do you guys think about the glove
Yeah,
switch? Shakur Stevenson has fought. I mean, I can't remember the last time he lose any other glove than Everlast. He always uses Everlast gloves. And in this fight, he switched. Is that something to be alarmed concerning? Uh,
well,
what do you guys think?
here's the thought process behind that. If it's what Mr. Miyagi says that he can't really make a full fist and his middle finger is out a little bit because of the surgery, like like he can't close it all the way. Could it be that maybe those gloves are more comfortable for him than
Perhaps
Everlast
better
due
padding.
to the
Oh
surgery?
like the winning boxing gloves. Those are big
Right.
punchers gloves. Guys that break their hands typically with punching. Mayweather wore them. Naoya wears them. A couple fighters wear them. So yeah, that can definitely be it. And when Mr. Miyagi is saying that his finger, what he's saying is that this knuckle is protruding forward. It's like ahead of all of it. You see, and when he's saying that he can't make a grip, it's because his middle finger, it's so big and so there's been so much cartilage on the knuckle that he can't really properly. Well, like I discussed with you guys, I'm a boxer, I'm a fighter, former fighter, and I know that out of all your fingers, there are two that are important the most. Your thumb, and the most important finger on your whole hand is your pinky. Without your pinky, you can't make a fist. If you let your pinky go right now, all the pressure just comes out of your fist. But if you put your pinky back, your fist is solid. So your middle finger is not that much. All you got to do is just push it in with gauze, get it to grip, and that you can, as long as your thumb and your pinky can make that solid, you're good to go, baby. You're good to go. So had it been like his thumb or pinky, I would have been like, okay, because I know that. I can't tell you how many times this finger, this knuckle. I mean, I've trashed my hands a lot. You know, this one's back here, over here. That's a tooth. That's a tooth. That's a tooth. That's a tooth. Those are two teeth. Yeah, like I've for a lot. So, but all I relied on, if I can make a fist, I'm putting. You know what I mean? So that part when he did that with the grippy thing, I said to myself, have you ever been in a situation, Edwin, where that somebody was asking you about one of your strengths and weaknesses, and this could affect something? Did you play stupid to try to trick your? And I was like, yes, I have. If you would have gave me that in my hand, I would have squeezed it, said, oh yeah, that's it. Here you go, only 33. I'm not gonna squeeze that shit the hardest to let my opponent know my hand is freaking strong. I would, oh no, look, my shit is fucked up. Come walk into it. I'm gonna show you how fucked up it is. And knock you the hell out. So I can't go by boxers' ploys. And when Shakur Stevenson, fucking one of his boys is one of the best at faking people out and at gimmicks and what to say and do is Floyd Mayweather. Floyd, yo, don't squeeze that like that. Don't volunteer information. You think a street kid is that dumb to not figure out that a reporter was trying to get some information on him and get him to squeeze something? Really? You think a street kid is going to be like, oh yeah, let me squeeze this as hard as I can? Yeah, right. Shakur knew that the minute all these fighters, when you asked him, hey, are you 100%? Yup. His arm could be falling off in the interview. I'm 100%. That's no one's gonna tell you this shit in boxing, bro. I've never seen that in my life. My leg could literally be broken, and I'm good. I'm good, 100%. I just went jogging yesterday. You know, it's what they're gonna do. Nobody tells you their game plan. Nobody tells you what they're gonna. And the same question the reporter seems to ask them: tell us what you're gonna do in this fight, knowing the guy ain't gonna say nothing. What guy ever said in a reporting thing? Well, in the first round, I'm going to go down to the body, then I'm going to work out to the top, right? And then in the second round,
I they always say
right,
tune in.
I'm going to take off the second round because by the time I'm going to be a little tired. So, and the third is when I really want to put it in the glass. Get the fuck out of here. The fighter's never going to tell you anything. Yeah, what's up, Miyagi?
Did you see when the reporters were trying to interview Beterbiev and Bivol, and they were like, "Oh, what are you going to do different? Like, what have you got to improve in this?" And like both of them was like everything. Well, Bivol was like everything, and they're like, "Well, what specifically? What have you got to do?" He's just like, "I've got to be better." They just made me laugh because they always try getting that same question out every time. And no one's going to tell you.
No one, Mr. Miyagi. Not one of them fighters is going to tell you their game plan. So when I saw those things with Shakur, you know, me, you know, I know what it takes to make a fist and where you would be shit out of luck, right? His middle finger, I was like, it's just how does it hold up? That I have to see. How well together is it? How strong is it? How did it heal? How much can he give? Though I don't have an answer for that.
What
That
gloves
part
did
I
you say
don't.
he was wearing?
Hmm?
What gloves did you say he was wearing? Is he wearing
They,
red?
yeah. Um, I don't know why he made the glove change. I
That
don't.
hand might just be numb. You might not even feel anything in it. And he's just like, fuck it, I'll throw it as hard as I can.
Right, because the Reyes is horsehair gloves, right?
Yep.
It's more. You're more. Those are knockout punchers gloves. You wear that when you want to knock someone out. So, I want to see. I want to see. Or if not, unless the guy said the that other glove that starts with an R that I'm starting to freaking is starting coming in my head, and I just lost my. It was on the
Rival.
tip of my. Yeah, yeah, like that. Because I heard the guy say something with an R. And now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, wait a minute, why would he wear Reyes boxing gloves? Not unless he said the other ones, and I thought he said Reyes, because I saw the interview, and when he was trying on the glove that he was going like this, Shakur put it on. He went like that to the Everlast glove, and then he took it off and went nah, and then the guy said something to him, and he wanted to try on the other glove that wasn't there. Then I heard the report of the guy saying the gloves he was going to pick out. And I think it might have been the other brand now that I think about it.
It's got
It
like the
might have,
little swirly bit on it with two circles.
right.
Rival.
Rival. That's the glove it might be. Yeah, because it doesn't make sense for Reyes. They're horsehair gloves. Those are punching. You don't want to put those on when you had a surgery like that. So that's what just made me click right now. I'm out of, yeah.
Depending on what rival it is, aren't rival classes punchers gloves as well, but a little
Yeah.
less aggressive than Reyes.
Mm-hmm.
More like the was it Everlast MX
Mm-hmm.
with the horsehair and fun. I think those are.
Right, right. That little combination there. Mayweather was a big, like winning boxing glove. He wore a lot of those things and stuff, and I want you guys to know too. It also depends on the way you wrap your hands out there in Saudi, on the Riyadh season. I have to actually look into that. I don't know why it's taking me this long to look into it. In fact, now that I'm starting to talk, I'm even questioning myself. Why haven't I figured this out? Because the reason why I say this is because of the controversy that we had with Naoya Inoue and fighters like Mayweather, that this sometimes comes out in Las Vegas, in Japan. You can put tape on skin. In New York, Texas, that's against the law. You have to put gauze first, then tape. Both methods are different, very effective methods of wrapping your hand, but it's different. It's different. And I wanted to see for Shakur Stevenson's situation in his hands wrapped, which way are they going to allow tape on it? Is he going to be able to make like a cast-like substance, or is they going to go with the gauze first, then tape, and he's going to have to build around there? That's a
Yo,
different wrap for your hand. It's a whole different ball game. So
Ed-
that would be good to know. Go ahead.
Edwin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to make a quick point, man. I just want to point out, and this goes for the Bivol fight.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to say that if you can't hurt Beterbiev, it's gonna be a long night. The
Hmm.
same thing is gonna apply for the Bacoli fight. If Parker can't hurt Bacoli, he's gonna be in his face all night. Also goes for the Subriel Matias fight. If this guy Venezuela can't hurt Matias, he's gonna be in your kitchen. He's going in through your front door. And the only way you're gonna stop him is if you hurt him.
You think so? So you don't think there's a version of this fight where he can just win on points?
I just think the pressure is going to be too much. And if you can't stop him, he was already going back in the first fight. As far as Bivol's concerned, fighting off his back foot, always going back, retreating. You can tell that Beterbiev's punches were more effective than Bivol's punches.
They were more effective, but Bivol had his moments.
So when you talk about being more active, yeah, I want to say Bivol was more active, but his punches weren't as effective as Beterbiev's. So when Beterbiev hits you, you can see the difference. You can see how he reacts.
Hmm.
And I want to say the same thing is going to happen to Bacoli. If Bacoli can take Parker's best shot, he's going to go. He's walking in through your front door. And you're not going to stop him unless you hurt him.
All right, all right, all right. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. In the main event, as of right now, these are all subject to change. Okay? I could change my mind tomorrow morning. Matter of fact, what time is it? It's going to be early. What time are the ring walks going on in this again for us out here?
It starts at 9 o'clock
In the morning.
I want to say it's 8 or 12 hours difference. I think it's 7 o'clock in Saudi Arabia when it's 9 o'clock in the morning here.
All right. Now,
I could be wrong. Don't quote me.
Yeah, no, but I'm watching the whole main card, so you guys can tune in with me. I'll be here live. I'm gonna be calling the main card, and it really doesn't matter what time for me it was gonna be that they make the ring walk, because I was gonna be here the entire time anyway. But so I was saying, right? I was saying, okay, I'm gonna go with Demetrius Bivol in the main event, right? As far as Parker and Martin Piccoli, I'm gonna take Josh Parker in that fight. And as far as Ortiz versus Israel, I be flip flopping on this one. I'm gonna go with yo man.
Hold on.
I think,
Are you giving us your picks right now? Is that what
no,
you do?
no,
You don't
no,
even do
no.
that. Hold on. You don't even do that shit on fight night.
Hold on, hold
You
on.
wait until the fight ends before you give us your picks.
No, I told. That's
So
why I
now
just
all
said.
of a sudden you got all of these picks in your mind.
No, 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 no.
And you
Big
giving it
Bam
to
wasn't
us.
listening.
Huh?
Frontline, correct him. Frontline, would you correct him? Big Bam wasn't listening.
No.
I said these picks are subject to change. I said it.
Here we go.
They are.
Wordplay.
Yeah, Bang, you got to read the
You gotta
fine
read the
print.
fine print.
Right. All right.
I said these picks are subject to change. Okay, I'm gonna right now because they're subject to change. I'm gonna take Ortiz. Okay, I can change my mind tomorrow. All right. So
It's not official till the
until the
bell
bell
rings.
rings.
To the
Okay, and that
last
Notre
bell
Dame
ring.
world title's
No,
on the
to the
line.
last bell ring. To the last bell rings, which is normally when he makes his picks. But go ahead.
Frontline. Ever since Bam Bam won the Notre Dame World Championship, he's like talking back more. Have you noticed that? Like it's real.
But you know what though? He's a two-time Notre Dame
I
champion,
mean
so
that's
he's got.
yeah. I think that's where it's coming from. That he knows
I think his ego's
it's
getting
getting
inflated.
yes. That you see, I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to say anything. You know what I mean?
Hold on. How can you be two-time world champion and not have an ego?
You see what I'm saying? It all comes down.
How does that make sense?
Yo, listen. Guys. Tell me. It can subject to change. Who do you got in the fight, man? Break it down from top to bottom. Front line.
All right, I'm not worried about the first two, but the Shakur Stevenson, Josh Padley, I got
Okay.
Shakur. On the Zilly Zane with Agent Cable, I think I got Agent on that
Oh,
one.
okay.
Joshua, the Boutsy and Smith fight. Smith is a dog. I mean, you got to give Smith his credit because he's a
Yeah.
dog. Um, Subject to
Yeah,
change,
subject to
right?
change.
I'm gonna go with Bouncy on the Smith on the Joshua Bouncy versus Caleb Smith. I'm going with
Really?
Bouncy.
I'm going with Caleb Smith.
Yeah. Hey, we talk about
Subject to
subject to
change. Yeah, yeah,
change.
yeah, yeah. I'm going with Caleb Smith. I never give you my prediction on that. I'm taking Caleb, but it's subject to change. All right, go ahead. Continue.
On the Martin Bacoli with Joseph Parker, subject to change. I got Parker winning
Okay.
that one. On the Adames versus Shiraz, I want to go for my Latino, but I think Shiraz might pull this one off.
Mm. Being honest, being honest. Okay.
And the Ortiz versus Maigomedov, I got
Really?
Maigomedov.
All
I got
right.
yeah,
Come to the dark
I
side.
got Maigomedov. And then the main event, Bivol versus Beterbiev,
Parker.
I gotta go with Beterbiev. And that one's not subject to change. That's
I know
permanent.
that one was permanent. Just what round was that one going to be? You said,
I said by
but what
knockout.
what round was it?
We'll
Yeah.
find out
Okay.
tomorrow.
Anyway, let's try to get him. Hey, Bam. Come on.
Tune
Subject to
in.
change, Bam. Tell me what you got. Bam. Bam. Bam.
Who's on the card? Can you
Huh?
Yeah, so you ready? I'm starting off the first two fights. I'm gonna assume that they're
Joe
nobody, so
Parker.
I'm not even gonna touch those.
Not
So Shakur Stevenson against Josh Padley.
Shakur with his brand new knuckle implants? He's ready to show them off. And he's
Josh.
gonna go in there and try to get a knockout. And he's gonna prove to the world. You don't think he's tired of the bullshit that he had to hear for the past 6, 7 months about how he's boring, how he constantly runs, and he's not an exciting fighter. I think he has to show and prove that he's not what people think he is. So yeah,
Sponsored by Snack.
with his brand new snack power and his brand new knuckle implants, he's going in for a knockout. But with all that said, it's going to be a unanimous decision.
All right, Zhang versus Caballero.
I
Adjit. I'll just say
don't
Adjit. I
know
don't want to
too
butcher his
much
last name.
about the other guy, so I'm going to go with Big Bang Zhang.
Okay. Joshua Boutty and Caleb Smith.
Another fight I'm not too familiar with, but I'll go with Caleb Smith. Uh, yeah.
Okay. Martin Bacoli or Joseph Parker.
Everything is subject to change. Everything what you see today might not be the same thing you see tomorrow. So I'm going with Bacoli. By stoppage.
Okay.
Knockout.
What round?
Okay.
Uh
Tune in.
tune in. Can't miss it. Tune in. Round one,
C-
sports talk.
Carlos Adames or Hamza Shiraz.
I don't know either of the fighters. I know one is Dominican. He's shorter than Shiraz. Um, I'm just gonna say Adames. Knockout.
Okay. Well, in case you didn't know who Shiraz, what you call it, Shiraz was, he's the one that beat
Okay.
Ammo Williams
All
by
right, cool.
knockout. And then Ortiz versus Maigomedov.
Super, 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 super big fight. Um, After looking at both fighters at the weigh-in this morning, Maigomedov is a natural 150 pounder. Ortiz is moving up from 147 to 154. He struggled against Bolachek a little bit. I thought he won. Um, it's just
Subject to change.
my heart is with Virgil. I'm a Virgil fan, but my mind is telling me that Maigomedov is just stronger. He's more natural at that weight, and the way he was hitting that bag, he looks like he's cracking. So I'm going with Going with Virgil, subject to change.
Okay, and then main event, Beterbiev,
I got
Bivol.
Beterbiev knocking this guy out finally once and for all. I don't want to see a trilogy. I think it's going to take away from the excitement of seeing um, David Benavidez going for his undisputed title at 175 pounds. I think the world would rather see that than see a third fight with Bivol. Let's be real. So um, I'm going for a knockout, Beterbiev, um, 10th round.
Wait, you're making your
10th
prediction
round,
early,
huh?
huh?
Subject to change. I'm a
10th
UD guy.
round, huh?
I'm a UD guy. So write it
Uh-huh.
down. Write it
Bam,
down.
bam. 10th round. I got you, Bam. You're locked in.
He's got a 10th round
Oh,
UD.
UD on split decision, MD. Um, um Mr.
Mr.
Miyagi.
Miyagi,
Right.
Stevenson versus Paddy. Who you got?
Stevenson should win, and I think he'll actually get a stoppage. Not
Okay.
necessarily like be hard shots, but it'll be accumulation.
Yes.
Padley's just going to get tagged that whole fight, and I think eventually he's just going to go.
Yep.
Not the ref will stop it.
So the accumulation. So you're saying the accumulation of punches will end up wearing
Yeah,
Paddy
I
down.
think you'll see Shakur be quite aggressive in this fight.
Okay. Zhang versus Ajit.
Oh, it's a difficult one. I think
Subject to change.
Caballero's going to do it. He'll
Yeah.
win.
You think who?
Yeah, I think he'll get because Caballero throws something like 70 to 80 punches around for a heavyweight. So if he can not get hit with anything big that shuts his lights off, personally, I think he stops Zhang. Just again, accumulation. He's just going to keep hitting him all 12 rounds. And he's not he's got a bit of pop as well. He's not a massive puncher, but 70 to 80 punches around for a heavyweight. It's crazy.
It's a lot of punches.
Fucking good.
Boatsy versus Smith.
If Smith turns up, like I think he's going to turn up, I think he'll win. I don't know if he's going to knock him out. I'll go with UD in that one.
Okay. Bacoli and Parker.
I'll go with Parker. I just think I think Parker's going to slip a lot of them punches. He might go down once or twice, but again, if you don't knock him out, he recovers and he can go all 12 rounds.
Right.
Although I say
Okay.
that, he has come in heavier this fight. So, but I'll go with Parker. Parker by
Adamas and Shiraz.
I'll go with Shiraz on that one, but I think Adamas can get it. But again, I don't know which Adamas is going to show up. So
Okay. Ortiz or Maigomedov.
I got Ortiz on this one. The Uzbek style doesn't cater very well to inside fighting. If you watch all of the main area of Crawford's success in that fight was when he was in close with the uppercuts and the short hooks. Uzbeks, you can just look at MJ Akhmadaliev when he was fighting. Was it Jose Velasquez from Chile? He kept getting on the inside, and he just couldn't. He didn't know how to handle it. He couldn't throw any sort of inside offense. So I'll go with Ortiz, but that's a 50-50 toss-up because he might just get tagged hard coming in. But I think Ortiz will just try and weather that storm and get on the inside. If he can hold him into a corner or on the ropes, I think he'll get him and he'll stop him. Body shots.
Okay. Beterbiev, Bivol.
I think Beterbiev can do it. Because I feel like the first fight, even though he moved well, I think that knees, even though he had a year out the ring, surgery like that, you need more time really, especially going into training camp for a fight. I think now you have a little bit more time to heal, use it a little bit more. It won't be as seized up and stiff. So I think he'll actually be more swift of foot in that fight, and he should get Bivol out of there. And I'm not going to give a round today because I know which round it's going to be.
Okay. You
Yeah,
know?
but that's for tomorrow.
Yeah. Those are some
Ah.
good, subject to change. Subject to change, right?
Oh no, I'm looked in.
Oh, you're locked in.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Mr.
locked in.
Miyagi, he
He's
is
locked
locked in
in.
with his picks. But I think my pick is gonna flop with Ortiz and Ismail. I mean, that's just a tough fight for me. Like you said, you think that Ortiz can have real good success on the inside, or it can play out like Ortiz and Tim Tszyu got that kind of stretching body shot where what's his name? What's his name? Say it, front line. The one that
Which
Background.
fought
one?
Tim Tszyu.
Background.
Backrum.
He, no, you.
The guy that fought Tim Tszyu, that knocked out Tim Tszyu.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
right.
Back.
You know
Yeah.
how he knocked out Tim Tszyu? Where Tim Tszyu was trying to come in and do that side body shot? Ortiz got caught that same way. And those kind of fighters, them Russian them dudes from over there, they snap at that shit. And just like Tim Tszyu got caught in, that's what I started thinking. Yeah, Ortiz is good movement. If he tries to do that little body shot the way he got dropped in the last fight where that other dude caught him, same style type people. They're the same style type. They're from that side of the world. Them real tough men that take showers with bears. And
All right, Edwin, you're not ducking. We got to hear your picks.
I'm not ducking. I'm not ducking. My picks, I said my picks first. I was the one that broke it off. I started it. I said my picks. I told you I think that and I went and well, read me through all of them. I didn't say all the picks. So let's do it over.
Exactly.
All right, go ahead.
Stevenson Padley.
So you got to put me on the spot right off the jump. You can't pick another fight.
Yeah. So for right there,
pick another
off
fight.
rip.
We'll come back to that one. Go ahead.
Oh, you want to come back to that? Okay, Zhang versus.
See, why you want to pick another hard fight? Let's come back to that one. All right.
Oh, we're playing the Pretender Diamonds
game. No, okay. Start at Shakur. Shakur Padley. I got Shakur in the fight. I think that Shakur is going to try to make a statement in this fight. I think that accumulation of punches.
He's giving a full prediction.
Round by round. I think that Shakur Stevenson is going to try to make an example out of Padley in this situation. I don't think Padley had enough time to properly prepare for a fighter such as Shakur. You could have seen him, but I got Shakur in the fight. Next fight. Zhang, you said?
Zhang versus
I got Ajay.
Boutsi, I hope I'm saying his name right. Boutsi versus Smith.
I want to count Smith out in this fight. Like, you don't really know what version you get of him sometimes. He's shown that he can be a puncher. He's had to come back in fights and rely on his power to bring him back in fights. So I know if he's down in fights, he never counts himself out of the fight. I like that about him. He's in the fight the entire time. You're gonna have to beat him. But I'm gonna take the other guy.
You take Boutsi then? Bacoli, Parker.
I'm gonna take Parker.
Subject to change?
I'm gonna take Parker all the way now.
Okay. Adames and Shiraz?
I want Adames to win, bro. I really do. My lamb cousin, here, and I want him, but I think Shiraz he's gonna beat him, bro. Yeah, I'm not gonna bet with my heart on this one.
Okay. And then Ortiz and Maigomedov?
Ortiz and Maigomedov, that's just a tricky one. I mean, that's the one in my head that can really, truly go either way. The question is Ortiz who they say he is? And is Maigomedov as nice as they say they portray him to be after that fight with Terrence Crawford? See, Israel Magometov's credibility comes off of the Terrence Crawford fight. Ortiz comes off having 20 plus knockouts, 20 fights, 20 knockouts, rocking 100% knockout ratio, but people questioning his level of competition. Yeah, you can knock out these kind of guys. So it's going to be a fight where both fighters have a lot to prove. Ortiz wants to prove to the world, I'm him. And Israel Maigomedov wants to prove to the world that he's, in fact, that skilled. That it took the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world to take my belt, and it took him 12 rounds to do so. And I walked out of that fight on my feet. So both fighters got big statements, big shoes to fill. I'm gonna go with Ortiz.
Okay. And then for the Beterbiev versus Bivol.
I'm really gonna go with Demetrius Bivol. I'm gonna go against the power on this one. I think that Arthur.
So how do you see it? What round?
Hold on. Oh no, that's for tomorrow. You can't get that. All right. So I think that Arthur Benavidez knows he doesn't have to change anything. He knows that his fight plan coming into that fight worked. What he has to do is just train just as hard and be more efficient with his punches. He doesn't really have to change anything. The one that has to change is the guy that lost. Or Demetrius Bivol has to go back and see what he did wrong. He's going to feel like he's going to have to make corrections. And I think that sometimes you can go in a fight and the event or the moment, and you could leave that fight saying, I could have did something better. Or I So I think that Demetrius Bivol right now is in an opportunity where that he gets that rare chance where you say, if I could run that fight back one more time, I would fight him like this. The fact that they put it together so fast, I think that he's been in the ring with him before. He knows where he went wrong. Father Time is undefeated. That knee, I don't believe that the knee is 1,000,000,000% sure. I mean, great. It might be. It might be. I just think that there's gonna be inoue, and I'm gonna go with that. That's subject to change. But there are my picks. At least I don't make picks and say every fight is gonna be unanimous decision.
Yo, but hold on.
You know what I mean?
You can't knock it if it's correct. At the end of the day, you're calling out a fight that you think, the results are gonna be. So why are you knocking out or knocking the right decision? Damn it! I mean, it's the right call.
Hey, listen.
It's because maybe it's because where the call is coming from. That's
no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That's what the problem is. Because if you say, all right, look, this is what's happening. What's your call? And guess what? You called the right call, and it's correct. What's the fucking problem?
You know what the problem is? That means that the fight started sucking, and none of these guys can land their punches, and it had to go 12 rounds. And although it might have been right, yet boring, all right, you got your little boring victory. See, the Notre Dame world title is based on knockout beauty. Calling the knockout in the round like I did when I said Shakur was going to knock out Homeboy in the 4th round. The only thing was I used my 4th round pick for the previous fight, but I meant for the Shakur. You guys sound like you would let me get away with that. You guys,
I'm just
yo,
letting you
you
talk.
guys sound like you really was letting me get away with that.
I'm
Yo,
falling
listen.
back.
All right.
Because you know what? Your fans, your listeners are more smarter than you think they are.
Hey, look. Wait a minute. Edwin Keys me what? Posting on all my boxing news work. That's right. That's right. In the building. Ortiz. That's just a tough fight. Ortiz and Ismail, all jokes aside, like that's the type of fight that I've been thinking about and I've just been going back and forth with. You know.
All right, well,
Yeah.
Edwin, I'm getting ready to
All
wrap up
right.
here.
Absolutely.
I will catch you on the
Yes.
next one.
Absolutely. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for all the love and support. You're always welcome here. And have a good one.
Chat, round
All
one.
right,
See
brother,
ya.
Mr. Miyagi. See you later. Thank you.
Catch you later.
Yeah, guys, I'm about to wrap this up here. Yeah, we you know, we're gonna be on tomorrow. It's gonna be an early one. But bam, listen. I just want to personally tell you now that it's just me and you here at the end that your reign is over. Your championship glories are hours away. You know,
Yeah.
I hope that you had that Notre Dame's World Championship, you know, because it's gonna be coming home. And here it is, right here. I'm gonna throw it up one time for you
Put
because
it up. Put it up.
this is
Show my belt.
bam
Put the belt up.
Notre Dame's World Champion. You want the belt?
Put
You
the
want the
belt
belt
up.
right now? Okay.
Show the world the belt, man. Stop playing with me.
You know what I mean? Yo, bam, bam. The belt looks real shiny, real nice right now around your waist, but that's
Thank
okay.
you.
That's okay. Bam, 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 bam. I'm not gonna shine it up today. You know why? Because I'm gonna have it dusty. Because when I put my nameplate on it, it's gonna say Notre Dame's World Champion Edwin right across of it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show the world, yo, listen, you're done. I should have never let you win. You know, because now I got to your head. You know, yo, bam, yo,
Check.
it's on, bro. I
It's
love you,
all
brother,
love.
man.
It's all
I
love,
love
man.
you.
You already
It's
know.
always all love. Have a great night, Bam. Can't wait to
Same
see
to
you
you.
tomorrow at the fight. See you then. Everyone that are tuned in, thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to give these videos a like. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And like always, I'm on to the next one after this one.